Are you a fan of the Ricmotech World Challenge? Now is your chance to show off your favorite Sim Racing World Challenge by visiting our online store. With clothing and apparel for women and men in all sizes, merchandise and gift items like coffee mugs, laptop skins, mouse pads, and many more items to display your passion for sports car sim racing. Visit us today at ExtremeMotorsports99.com and click on the online store button. Thank you for watching and supporting the Ricmotech World Challenge. Are you...
Hello everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV and the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. This is round 6 of the 8-round season and we are at the Watkins Glen International Circuit in the United States. My name is Andrew Woodhouse and I'm very pleased to be joined by my longtime partner in crime, Alex Simpson. And Alex, mate, I know that you enjoy this circuit quite a lot. I'm going to have some great action here with these GT cars and yeah, just to see what it's all about. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Really looking forward to this one. Like you said, Andrew, love this circuit. Just absolutely something about it. It just, really clicks with me. Always enjoyed it. The very first time I drove this circuit, I think it was in Skip Barber, and then shortly after that was the IndyCar. Yeah, just fell in love with it. It's absolutely fantastic for racing. This is going to be great fun. A lot of great action out there as well today. So 17 cars for this round. So going to be not going to be short of a bit of action, I think. Looking at the times in practice as well, they look very close. They're actually qualifying well underway as well. So I think, yeah, we're going to have a good battle. And Woody, it's a pleasure to be sharing the comms box with you for the first time in God knows how long.
First time in quite some time, that is true. Into our 10th year of commentating together as well. Can you believe how that's gone? Just having a look, it's amazing. Looking at the information about the circuit conditions, it looks like we've got 18 degrees air temperature, 19 degrees track temperature, overcast conditions, of course, as you can clearly see, and the fair wind as well. How does that affect the drivers around here?
It's going to make a little bit of an effect. Not a massive one, I don't think, but there definitely will be some. It just depends. I mean, if it gets a bit gusty, some of those high-speed sections, like the car might want to turn in if it's if they've got a fair headwind. So they just got to be a little bit wary of that. Maybe if they've got a tailwind in places, the car may just push a little bit going in. Maybe we'll lock a brake or something like that, so get a bit of understeer. But for the most part, it's not going to be too bad. I think really once you sort of see wins from about sort of 25k and above with these sort of tin top cars, that's where it can have a little influence. Anything below that, not going to make too much.
We've got two classes in play, of course, here. We've got the GTD class and the GTLM. GTD is basically the GT3 cars, and GTLM is the GTE cars, where we'll be seeing both classes in action today. It'll be interesting to see the relative performance of them. Looking at the categories at the standings so far this season, in the GTD category, it's Bobby Childs leading the way when I look at the driver points, but the team standings are really where it's at. D2D Motorsports Blue are leading the way with 166 points. And then D2D Motorsports Gold in second, 159. May Motorsports in third. Bridge Sport Racing fourth. Fifth is Driftline Racing and TMC Racing in sixth place. That's in GTD. And then in GTLM, Crypto G Racing Orange with 173 points, just 1 point ahead of Excite Energy, with Flying Tortoise Motorsports in third, Coaxial Racing in 4th, Team Street Survival.org in 5th, Ricmotech Motorsports White in 6th, Axon Endurance Team 7th, Welligan Racing in 8th, Phoenix Racing in 9th, PMF Motorsports 10th, and Proximity Racing in 11th. And good to see, Alex, a few more cars on the grid here. 17 cars. We didn't have quite as many as that, I think, in 6 weeks ago now when we had the last race.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I know they've been working hard behind the scenes, haven't they, to build this series up. So, yeah, and it's nice to see it. And of course, there is a lot of drivers out there with this being a team event, of course. So, yeah, that's a pretty decent turnout, and that's just slowly working out. You know, if we can get that sort of 20-25 cars, it's going to be excellent. We've got 3 races left of this season to go, including today's race at Watkins Glen. Of course, next week we are, next round we are at Road Atlanta, and then we finish the season off with a Le Mans race as well, which is going to be pretty epic, I have to say. Yeah, 3 absolute fantastic circuits to close the season off, and actually 3 I love. Why am I not doing this series?
There you go. Probably, because in each race for you there'd be a threat of not staying awake. I think
Yeah, fair point.
it'd be in the final stint of the race. But the safety car has the drivers lined up on the grid as they go round the pace lap. I will take you through the grid. Rob Hartley is on pole position for Excite Energy Racing, 140.595, just ahead of Mike Dam in the Crypt G Orange Racing car in just less than a tenth behind. David Payton in 3rd for Coaxial Racing. Jodie Fike in 4th for Phoenix Racing. Then Jennifer McDonald for Team Street Survival in 5th. Kevin Ford in 6th for Ricmotech Motorsports White. David Alessi in 7th for Bwelligan Racing. Then Michael Ruddock for Flying Tortoise Motorsports in 8th. Forrest Landy for PMF Motorsports 9th. Arthur Chan in the Axon Racing car in 10th. Dylan Alt for Proximity Racing is 11th. And then in 12th is Tyler Schiffler, and he's the first of the GTD, the GTLM cars. Tyler Schiffler 2.5 seconds down on pole position time, but 7/10 ahead of his nearest competitor, and that is Eric Violet in the D2D Motorsports Blue machine, and then Bobby Childs in the D2D Motorsports Gold car, just a couple of tenths behind his teammate. Stephen Thomas is in 15th place, uncharacteristically quite a way down, actually 1.7 seconds off the pace. Mark Kedrowski is in 16th place, and then starting at the back in 17th, it's going to be it's going to be Free to Sport Racing and Edgar Sancinelli.
Yeah, exciting little grid. Worth pointing out as well, we do, of course, have both Tylers with us again, as usual. Become part of the makeup for the Ricmotech series now in the booth. So Tyler Maxon's on cameras for the... Tyler, this is the 2nd time you've been doing the cameras now, I believe?
Yes.
2nd, 3rd?
Yes, the 2nd time I've been doing the... actually, a little bit more than that, actually, because I've been doing it for the DRS Sprint Championship
Of course.
Tuesday. So definitely only the 2nd time, though, doing it for this championship. Last time doing it at this track, so I got a little bit of experience under my belt at this track. So I should be able to do some pretty good camera work, as I know which ones to use now. So yeah, but definitely really new to the booth, so still learning, but really fun.
Well, we'll try and leave you to the cameras tonight, but bring you in every now and again if that's okay. And then, of course, we have Tyler Vickery as well that has joined us as well. So, Tyler, good for thank you for popping in for this one as well. Looking forward to this. What's your take on the circuit car combo?
Watkins Glen. What can you say? It's one of the notorious tracks that a lot of the NASCAR's drivers have issues with, but I think this is gonna be real good. I'm actually gonna be keeping an eye on the Excite Energy cars. Seems like the Porsches are gonna be very strong as well as the Ferraris, but I think I'm gonna give my insight of I think Excite might have the best opportunity to win this race.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, and we'll if it's all right, Tyler, we'll keep you on the lookout for incidents and things like that might be going on. Keep us in the loop throughout the race, and yeah, again, me and Woody will bring you in as much as we can for this one. It's obviously quite a busy booth tonight, so yeah, try and organise it like that.
All right, well, it's about to get busy on the racetrack. There is a staggered start here. The guys are separating into the two packs of classes. I don't know about you, Alex. I kind of wish they would all put them all together and have a bit of a rumble on the first lap.
Yeah, I agree. There's not much difference, is there,
The
between
GT3 and GTD is basically the
no,
same
yeah,
power, isn't it? And things.
yeah, very, very similar. So, but yeah,
Oh, here we
I
go
think
then.
I think
D.
if you're in GT3 though, and there's a big pile up in D, you don't want any part of it. So I can understand.
True indeed. As the safety car is going to pull in, then it's going to go off to the right any moment now, and then the green flag is going to fly. We're going to be away here at Watkins Glen. There's already some movement in the background. Somebody already trying to make a move up there, and it's Alessi. And I wonder if he may have did he pass before the green? It's very difficult to tell. And Travis Fenke leads the way then through turn one. Inucci in second place. Then it's Fike and Torman battling side by side. And meanwhile, we're going to see the start for the GTLMs. And well, Tyler Schiffler, Alex, he's got the advantage in terms of pacing qualifying, but it's going to be a completely different story. Him trying to stay there, isn't it?
Absolutely. And he gets the advantage that he dictates when the pack goes, of course. So he is under less pressure at this start, and the pack really fans out as they go through the S's. But back to the front with the cryptology orange there, and good start from everybody. No mistakes going on at all. So that's what we like to see. We don't like to see few cars disappear in the first few laps, do we?
No, not in the team racing, and not when the grid is quite small, like this one. Yeah, we don't want 5 or 6 casualties early on. Do have to point out, in my tiredness and general ignorance, I forgot that I got the classes mixed up. So the GTLM is what is the GTE category. So now Iannucci leads the way by just under a second as some drivers flirt with the wall in the background. Iannucci, very unsurprisingly, sets the fastest lap of the race, being the first one across. And some of the drivers going wide in turn one. Alex, it can be a benefit, that it can be a hindrance. It just depends on your preference, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always a fan of using that wide runoff area. It's always worked for me. But I have to say, in some cars, it just doesn't give you an advantage, so there's no point. But yeah, personally, I like to carry the extra speed through there and off the corner. Seems to gain me a few tenths.
Some cars find it difficult to cope with the rejoin as well. In that, we've seen that many times too.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Some bad rejoins have led to some massive pile-ups in the past. Hopefully that does not happen here. But look at this battle. Travis Fenke, Pat Iannucci has managed to get completely clear, 1.6 seconds, but behind him, 6 drivers separated by just 2 seconds. Svenke, Torman, Fike, Ruddock, McDonald, and Alessi. You get these big drafting packs here, Alex, and you know it can be quite hard to break away from them. You know that well.
Yeah, I think there's quite a bit of draft in the GTLM as well. So it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. And I have to say, looking at a lot of Ferraris out there as well always makes it a little bit more tricky too when everyone's in the same machinery. So
yeah, indeed, and Iannucci sets another fastest lap, 142.5, 8 tenths quicker than any of his competition. Looking really, really strong out there is Pasquale Iannucci. Slow lap by Dylan Alt. It looked like 146.7, so a very slow lap from him. I don't know if he... it says he has actually been off the track. So That'll be where he lost 1.5 seconds, it looks like. Ruddock getting very close now on the back of Geordie Fike. And in fact, maybe trying to go around the outside, trying to engineer a maneuver. Now, not being too far behind Alex at this point. You know, some people would say maybe don't go for the move, but on the other hand, you kind of want to be further up this little pack just in case anybody really makes a break for it, and you suddenly find yourself maybe 4, 5, 6 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, you're right. There's people that say, right, well, stay with it, stay in line at the moment, and just be patient. It's a long old race and things like that. But then there are some that would be like, well, actually, if there's a little breakaway already happening, and you've got the ability to move forward, do it early. So yeah, there's a couple of mindsets that could go on out there as well. So yeah, I'm always the one that likes to settle into a bit of a rhythm. The first few laps, calm down a little bit. My first few laps are always a bit edgy. And then I will, I'll pick it up from there and kind of go at it. Maybe once sort of 5 or 6 laps have gone through, and I'm able just to chill a bit. So different mindsets. Some other people will have no problem attacking the circuit straight away.
And it looks like it's game on at the front, because Travis Schwenke's just set the fastest lap, so he's just closed in 3/10 on Iannucci on that lap. And it looks like there was a close battle in, it was a close battle a bit further down with Bader, Alt, and Landy very, very close together indeed. Tyler Vickery's in the pits for us in this one. Tyler, did you see anything go off in the first lap? Anything interesting that we didn't mention?
Nothing very difficult to see from what I noticed. I'm keeping an eye on the GTD class right now. They've had some fairly decent battles. Stephen Thomas for Driftline Racing's moved up a position, up to 3rd in class, and it seems like Bobby Childs is struggling a little bit. But so far, May Motorsports and Tyler Shiflett for the GTD class is pulling away from the field over there by almost a full second already, looking at the recent lap times.
Yeah, Shiflett, Alex, he is matching the pace of the lower end of the GTLM field, so pretty good stuff by Shiflett in what, let's face it, is slower machinery.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're a bit easier to drive, obviously, with the...
One of the Fords is in trouble. That's Raymond Bader. He's going right into the pits very early on. Sorry to cut you off, Alex. We're going to pick that up in a second. But yeah, any ideas about why he might be coming in at this point?
Yeah, no, not sure at all.
The start or something, but you'd have to serve the penalty before now.
Yeah, it would have been 3 laps, wouldn't it? So, yeah, would have had to come in a couple of laps ago. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see what goes on. Maybe the way the fueling's going to work today, we're looking at just a splash on one of the stints. So, perhaps just trying to get that out of the way now, get out of the pack. Maybe work his way forward. Who knows? So, but yeah, certainly different to what everybody else is doing out there. So let's hope it's not like a mistake where they left like qualifying fuel set up in and things like that. I know I've done that in the past. You always kick yourself on that.
Well, it is the first benchmark of the day when it comes to pit stops, and you can see on your screen down at the bottom the number in brackets was 26.2 seconds. So that's how long they spent in pits. So the first real idea of how fast those pit stops are going to be. It says Stephen Thomas and Bobby Childs have crashed. Have they crashed with each other, or have they just had some small issue? Let's have a little look. Alex, take us through it.
Yeah, just getting a replay now. Oh, so yeah, just lost it on his own, and then unfortunately, actually didn't collect Charles. Charles was able to avoid it, but did have to massively checked up, and I think that's why our sort of timing screen perhaps indicated there was a possible incident for him as well. So, but yeah, so just Thomas losing it on his own through the chicane. Looked like he caught a bit of the curb, bounced the car a little bit, and got the rear a little bit loose, and then Charles very much alert to that and was able to avoid the incident.
Fastest lap of the race, Dylan Olt, 141.6. He's down in 9th place, Alex. That's impressive.
Yeah, where'd that come from? He needed that kind of pace in qualifying, really. Yeah, just banged it out, purple. 2 fantastic sectors, really. Sector 3 and Sector 5 went absolutely purple. So, yeah, really,
Also
really enjoying it now.
Personal best in Sector 1 and Sector 4 for him. He's just set the fastest second sector of the entire race as well. He could be one to watch. I think he's just taking a position on Chan. And if we can get a replay on that, but he's just taken after Chan. Dylan Holt, Proximity Racing. Let's see, he's coming through the carousel, Alex, and it's not the easiest place to get an overtaking move done just after this.
No, the shoots. I mean,
Ooh,
yeah, and actually,
Chan went a bit wide, did he, or did he let him go? I don't know.
it's possibly. I mean, it looked like he just kind of was very confident on the brakes and just, yeah, kind of sent one in there a little bit, and yeah, a bit of a late turn in from Chan. Let it happen a little bit. I perhaps saw it come in and thought, well, no, I don't want to get involved in anything in this early days. So yeah.
Some drivers do like that late turning in the shoot, don't they?
Yeah, and you can do that, yeah, because it's got quite a lot of camber in that corner as well. So yeah, but I would think probably Chan's just seen that pace that Dylan's come flying up behind him, seen that purple time, and thought, yeah, I've probably not got anything for him right now. Might be best to let him kind of have it and see if I can tag onto the back of him and get drawn back up to this pack. As he's fallen a little bit behind.
I think Arthur Chan's had some problems as well because Forrest Landy has passed him and he's now 7 seconds behind. I wonder if Chan has had a spin at turn 1. Does he get maybe 2 wheels on the grass on the way in? No. Turns in the Ford GT. Bottoms out, maybe?
It looked like maybe he just nicked the grass. It was the smallest of nicks if he had it. It was a bit of an extreme response from the car if that was the case. But yeah, so maybe it was perhaps just some rear lock-in or something like that going in there, just pushing it in there. And you know what these GTE cars are like. You know, they're no ABS, so it's very easy to get the rears just locked and the car will swap ends pretty quick.
Well, that pace of Dylan Holt, the last 2 laps, 41.6 and 41.7, the 2 fastest laps of the race individually, has definitely done the cat amongst the pigeons, Alex. It's made the prospect of this 2 hours and 10 minutes maybe a bit more exciting as well, because we know we could potentially have a contender for the win on our hands.
Yep, exactly. That's what we like to see. He's going to come in driving through, of course, so it's going to be really interesting, I think. Perfect, you know, work his way up this pack. This little group's just still staying pretty much nip and tuck, you know, just looking at Geordie Fike, Phoenix Racing, and yeah, he's fairly content at the moment, just sat in 4th. He's staying right on the tail of Thorman, really. Not putting him under any real pressure, but yeah, still pretty happy to be there. And the 2 cars in front, actually, they're not pulling away as quickly as they were in the opening laps now.
No.
It's, everyone's kind
because Svenky's caught Iannucci. He's right on him, so not the best start for Svenky, but certainly after that, he's rolled up his sleeves and put some good lap times in. He's gone under the 1 minute 42 marker 2-3 times, so yeah, he's got it dialed in. Porsche looks like it's really nicely balanced around here, mate.
Yeah, it does. It is a nice car to drive as well. Of course, the season started before we had the BMW Big Boy introduced into this category as well. Why I don't think we're seeing any of them in this particular series, but I dare say it will be introduced in the following seasons.
Problem for Mark Kedrowski in the 944 TMC racing car. I think he's had an incident here in the Audi. On the Audi out on this circuit. Is this going to be a similar incident to the one from a few... oh, that's weird. It's very weird through there. That's 2 cars now, Alex. They've just turned into turn 1 and just lost the rear. I wonder if the wind could be making a difference through that part of the track. Who knows?
Yeah, it's possible. Tyler, we got any word on what might be going on, or any thoughts from your point?
Haven't heard anything over the radio yet, but I saw that incident happen live. I've driven the Audi a lot in the sim. Very interesting spot though. That I was kind of surprised to see him spin there. Looking back at the Ford, I feel like just probably the setup for the Ford was the suspension probably couldn't handle it and caused the Ford to oversteer like it did. For the Audi, for that incident that just happened there, I was actually intrigued. I'm looking back at the replay to see how that happened, but that was a very odd spin there for the TMC driver for Mark Kedorowski.
Yeah, pushes him way down, so he's going to have to knuckle down now and really stamp on it a little bit. Let's have a look at the gap he's got. So it's like 17 seconds to the car ahead now. So yeah, really, really costly.
Yeah,
It's going to have a bit of clear air and things like that in order to work with. Raymond Bader has passed Stephen Thomas as Bader trying to return through the field after his pit stop. After his pit stop very early on lap 4. So Bader is trying to get through the GTD field, sorry. Iannucci versus Schwenke then. It'd be interesting to see what kind of slipstream, Alex, that he can achieve up here, because he's already got it down to. He had to lift though, maybe a little bit more through the S's.
Didn't quite get the line, did he? Right there. So I think any kind of slipstream that he will have had is going to be diminished a little bit, just because he's lacking speed. And of course, we are running the classic layout as well, which means the run is a little bit shorter. So you have to really perfect that exit off of turn 1
It's not really sufficient, is it? The amount of straight that the drivers are given to work with there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you ask any driver which one they prefer in terms of for overtaking, they're always going to ask for the. It's the classic layout that hasn't got the chicane in it. It's just the updated layout is the one with the chicane. So yeah, so they all prefer the classic in terms of getting that run into the carousel. Much easier to catch the slipstream. Getting very, very close here as well. Michael Ruddock in the Flying Tortoise Motorsport Ferrari there, and he's tucked up behind the Phoenix Racing Ferrari of Geordie Fike. But yeah, these guys pretty inseparable, Woody, at the minute.
Yeah, and Jennifer McDonald is right there as well, just 2/10 behind Mike Ruddock. So great start by Ruddock though. He started in 8th place, so working well there. Dylan Oltz worked his way up to the back of this group as well, Alex, which you can see just in the background. There he is, just in the Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, we could well see a bit of overtaking getting done here with the pace of him. He's still the fastest man out there on the circuit.
Yeah, that proximity racing. Ferrari looking lovely, as well as absolutely working beautifully. 141.6 fastest lap for him, 141.8 that last lap. So he was a good 6/10 faster than our leaders. That sort of puts you into some perspective at the minute with the kind of pace that he's got. So he's definitely going to have a run at these guys. I think Travis.
Am I allowed to make a joke about him being in close proximity to the rest of them? or am I just banned from doing that?
I think you can do that. In fact, you just did.
There you go.
I'd like to add into this too. I'm looking at the lap times currently. Dylan Alt for the proximity racing, from finishing his 5th lap to currently, he's the only driver consistently in the 41s right now, other than Travis Schwenke. But with Travis Schwenke fighting with Iannucci right now, I mean, Dylan Alt's got a big opportunity.
Oh, in the background.
What's happened?
I think it's Alessi around.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, that was.
Yeah, it was Alessi. Sorry, Tyler, you were saying. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I was just saying heavy damage on that rear.
That's not what you want to do with only 25 minutes of a 2.25 hour race, is it?
I think you'll find that when he comes to the main straight, he'll be really struggling for straight line speed with that thing the way it is. Dear me, what a mess that is. Like one of those stock cars with the funny wings on them. Here's Schwenke then, and he does now have the run. And Iannucci, he's not going to fight this at all, is he? But or is he?
He does.
He does indeed. Looked
Oh,
like he
I'm
was a bit
talking of
passive in
fighting.
defence there, didn't he?
Yeah, you know, in some sense, the wide line is an advantage because you've got the tight line for the next part of the corner. So as long as you're confident that the driver is not going to hit you, I think it's not a bad shot, sort of shout. And Travis, he's never really going to throw it in there recklessly, is he? So yeah, Iannucci doing what he wanted and needed. And
You're not going to find Tyler Schiffler. You're not going to find Travis Schwenke slammed into the side of your car anytime soon, really, are you?
exactly.
The way that he drives, he usually drives pretty very, very safely. To be fair, this is going to be a good battle, though. It's going to heat up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and this is what I was just about to say. While we were watching what they were doing through the chicane as well, is all the Ferraris were kind of going at it as well, and that has now let Dylan really catch up onto the back of this, and I think we're going to start to see some moves. This is where it's going to be.
Now McDonald does have a slipstream from Ruddock, and that means that Dylan Holt not really able to get alongside very far, but he does dive through in turn 1, makes a nice clean overtake and goes up into 6th position. Tell you what, Alex, the guys at the front are going to have to fly because Dylan Holt is doing just that.
Yeah, and I think if they continue to battle, it's going to just hold them up a little bit more.
Into the bus stop chicane, then side by side though this time. And that was pretty close. And still close, and they have hit each other. And around is Iannucci, the Cryptogy Orange Racing. He's sideways in the middle of the circuit. Take us through it, mate. It's a tight situation anyway, but just not enough room for the two of them.
No, not enough room. And I think actually, you know, I know you're trying to defend there, but Iannucci just needs to leave a little bit more room on the right, just so that doesn't happen. You know, it's so easily done.
Schwenke's lost the lead as well to Torman.
He goes straight. He has a hard hit as well. Could have suspension damage as well. So major incident there. Maybe we can get a roll bar shot, I think, of Travis, just to see if we can see what his steering wheel's doing. Has he got any suspension damage there? Definitely spiced it up. Stay on board with him after this incident and see if this car is tracking straight or not, whether he's going to have some repairs.
I do feel like the car on the outside should have left a little bit more space.
That's what in my mind, I'm thinking. Just a little bit more. Car looks good. Suspension looks good. So just a few seconds lost for Travis there, but yeah, he's going to be able to continue to fight. But yep, he's still sat in 2nd place.
So Stephen Thomas has crashed as well. I don't know what's happened to him, but we're seeing a slightly messy start for Stephen Thomas. It's going to be in the bus stop chicane. And if he's going to go for a little spin in the Mercedes AMG.
That's reminiscent of what he did earlier on, was it not? It was Stephen, wasn't it?
He was, but he was at turn 1, wasn't it?
No, it's turn 1 that he had the incident earlier.
Look at this now, though. Mike Ruddock is really pushing hard, try and get past Geordie Fight, but at the same time, he's under a lot of pressure from Dylan Holt. Holt with great pace, as we've seen, very nearly loses the car. And yeah, Holt's got the run on the inside. Or has he?
You have to send it from there, I think, not quite alongside, and just get given a little bit of room, Ruddock there, if he wanted to, but in the end, doesn't.
I think somebody who has gone into a bit of bother is Forrest Landy. He's lost about 3 seconds just in the last Oh, that's all. He's around. And that's down from 5th place now for him. He's down into 6th. He's only lost 1 place. It was a quick recovery. But as some drivers pinching just a little bit too much of this Watkins Glen circuit. Yes, indeed, Alex, he did. And
That's
he's
a
hit the
hot-
wall, so he's got rear wing damage now. And that cannot be fixed in the Ferrari. We know that.
Yeah, we've fell victim of that, haven't we? Many a time, just on that curb, massive snap. So, pretty heavy hit. Again, it's going to come down to whether or not that rear left has taken some damage and the car's going to be tracking. We'll keep an eye on his lap times for a little second.
But
Actually,
he will not have the straight line speed now.
No,
That is for sure.
No, he won't. Tyler, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on those sector times, see what he's doing, if he's losing pace compared to what he was before, and just feed back to
Absolutely.
us for a bit.
Yeah,
Then-
just to add in on the 2 laps that he previously had with all of the fighting he was doing, he was already losing about half a second a lap before that spin. So it'll be really interesting. I'll definitely keep an eye on the sector time.
Travis Fenke doesn't need to keep an eye on the sector times because he can see Chris Tom and he can see a face full of Ferrari, FFF, and yeah, he's just searching for a way past at the moment. Not that easy. Chris Tom is an experienced competitor. He's not a guy who is always up at the front, Alex, right at the very front, but he does put in the solid performances, and it's his consistency and it's the lack of mistakes that is getting him up to the front of this one.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen any mistakes really. My off-track counter says 1. That's it at the minute. So that's why he's kind of there.
Everyone
at-
else is cocking up and he's not. And that's
Yeah, exactly.
the
Looking at
result.
best lap times, nothing. I mean, there's a lot of drivers that have been quicker than him so far today. So, like you say, it's just that consistency that's got him there.
Bader up to 12th place. Been taken Bobby Childs. As he's still working his way through, he's still nowhere near out of that GTD pack.
Just struggling with lap time as well. I mean, if I'm honest, we're at 145s. So
45 is not really enough for
Something
Raymond
is-
Bader.
yeah, something's just not happening for him in this one.
Yeah, we know he's not a slow driver as well, so we know that's not him that's suffering with the lap times. Schwenke then trying to just probably work out where Chris Torman is weak, where he's strong, and what he can do to try and take this lead away from him. But there'll be a part that's, it's the old Ricmotech Sports Car Series thing, Alex. There might be a part of him that's thinking, well, I'll maybe save a little bit of fuel, maybe save the tyres just a little bit, don't push it too hard at this point. Especially with Dylan Alt's car being wounded and potentially not 100% now. I don't know whether he knows that, but at the same time, that's quite a big boost because Alt was looking like over 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was going to be very difficult to stop with the pace he had. As here comes Ruddock on Jordy Fike, Alex, and he's going up to 3rd place.
Yeah, good move. Just got the run, didn't he, out the final corner and was able to sort of slingshot by and into turn 1. Yep, successful. Can perhaps try and push on and see if he can and give these guys a little run for the money at the very, very front. Tyler, what's the word in terms of the sector times? Are we looking at a drop off for Alt, or is he is he still on?
Not really. Honestly, not really. That last one, it was fairly clean. His 5th sector was the quickest out of all the front runners. Sector 4 was the same as well, keeping up with Jennifer McDonald and StreetSurvival.org team. So it doesn't look to be any very serious damage. So, I mean, we might have to keep an eye on Dylan Alt. I'm keeping a focus on him because that gap time is dropping with against Swanky and Thorman. So, looking at the gap from Dylan Alt to Chris Thorman, the leader right now, it's at 5.1 second gap, but it is dropping though.
Yeah, well, why couldn't we have had a Ferrari like that indestructible at Le Mans? And what's going on?
Oh, mate, I tell you, Yeah, or if somebody had got a hammer out that was large enough, I think we'd have been absolutely fine. But at the same time, yeah, I agree. I wish we could have got so lucky with the damage in that respect. Yeah.
And I have to say, Alt just come round that same corner that he lost it on the curb a few laps ago, and he's still using all that curb and everything as well. And I just saw another off-track pick in there, so he's not
I'm
he's
not
not slowing down.
afraid.
Yeah, and to add in on that, he went a lot farther out too. I mean, he had two tires in the grass there, and I was a little worried there, but I mean, he's throwing the car in there, and it still looks like it's handling 100%, which is unbelievable after the rear wing getting bent in a little.
It was a 41.9 again, so he's back in the 41. So
Yeah.
the only driver to do that. So I think, yeah, it might take him a little bit longer to get to the front because he's got to catch this pack up again. But I definitely feel like we're going to see that happen through this race. 35 minutes in now as well, so it does tick on by quickly here at Watkins as well. Especially when you have a busy old start to the race like we've seen today.
Oh yeah, we've had a great one. I just need to take a very quick break myself, but after half an hour gone, I just wonder if we can get the thoughts of Tyler Maxson, who's on the cameras, and just to see what his, as a racer himself, to see what his opinion is of the start.
So I think the start's been pretty clean from everybody, to be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised with the contact between Travis Swanky and Iannucci. Just a little bit surprising there, in my opinion. Iannucci, a little bit too much squeeze in behind Swanky, but still, yeah, they both got through it. They're both still running at least, but it's definitely not what you want to be seeing this early in the race. Considering, like you said, with only 31 minutes into the race, this only happened probably around lap 15. And Dylan Alt goes purple again with a 41.6. He is on the chart.
Wow. And also a heads up, Jim List is the first driver in GTD to pit for DTD Motorsports Gold. So that'll be really interesting. You might start seeing some pit strategies coming into play soon for the GTD field.
Yeah, just this is what we've got at the moment. So that's Ruddock closing in on Travis for a moment there, and I've just seen Dylan having a little look at the inside. Has to get a bit hard on the brakes there as well, so that he doesn't hit McDonald. But yeah, so starting to put the pressure on to make those moves. Tyler, what I'll do is I'll just throw it to you for, well, to both of you for the moment as well. Just want to double check a couple of audio settings and come back to you if that's all right.
Absolutely. I'm definitely keeping an eye on this GTE battle because, boy, this has been very interesting and exciting to see.
Exciting battle. It's Dylan Alt, though. He's on an absolute charge up. He's up 5 positions already. He's just 0.2 of a second now behind Jennifer McDonald. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him try and move down to turn 1. Right on board with him now. As he's just going to look towards the inside.
Gonna dive it in.
Is he going to make it? That was close. He is very lucky there that he wasn't just spun around. But he does end up. He's going to try it back down up the inside. But this is going to turn to the outside down the slap patch curve. So he's got to be ready to get back in the slipstream, I think. I don't think he's going to have speed to make it.
He just might, though. He's going to take a risk, and Jennifer's going to probably, yeah, and Jennifer's like, no, Moss, I'm not not going to take any more risk because that was already there was a few times even just going up the S's where I was expecting possible contact. So Dylan Alt now moves up into the top 5 for GTE.
Yeah, awesome job. Look back here at the battle for the lead. Chris Thorman currently just 0.2 of a second ahead of Travis Swanky, and Michael Ruddock also just 0.3 of a second behind him. So this battle is also really, really close. This is definitely something that we're used to seeing in these GTE cars. They're very easily followable cars, so they can have some very, very good racing. And Watkins Glen is one of the most iconic circuits in the world, in my opinion. It's just one of those circuits that promotes passing, promotes real racing all the way through. So should be a good one. Should be a good one there.
The amazing thing about this too is out of all the previous rounds that we've broadcasted, I've never seen a GTE field this close. I mean, normally we'll see Travis Schwenke and Pascal Iannucci just run away from the field. And after that little debacle that happened earlier in the race with Pascal Iannucci and Travis Schwenke getting involved, this is coming up to a very close race. And this is going to get really interesting. I mean, we're looking at Pascal Iannucci now, and he's still about 26 seconds out from the lead, but the lap times are somewhat coming back. He's still about half a second slower, but with the way this group is, when their pit cycles come around, oh, it's going to be game on again, I think.
Yeah, definitely going to be game on for him. But one thing I'm kind of surprised about is Pascal Iannucci just hasn't moved back up to the front like he has been able to in previous races. Just had the raw pace just to go run, even if he's a little bit down the order, just to run himself right back up to the front. Right now he's just sitting back in P9 and he's not really gaining. Actually, I'm watching him lose right now in the relative, so he's not really gaining a whole lot on the cars ahead. So it's definitely interesting from him that he's not able just to fly back up to the front like he is usually.
I honestly wonder now if there's some kind of internal damage in the engine maybe that we don't know. It just seems odd that timing is really losing it. However, I mean, look at Dylan Alt right now. He's trying to see what he can do on getting around George Fike, just trying to find the momentum, and he might have an opportunity here coming out of the last corner. Just cuts it in low, and whoa, we got someone coming in the pits. Oh, that's Stephen Thomas from Driftline Racing for GTD coming in the pits. Keep an eye on Dylan Alt here. He's gonna dive it in. Oh, it's gonna be close. Well, there we go. Jordy Fike goes wide. Oh, almost had more contact up front with Schwenke and Michael Ruddick. 4-car battle for second. This is going to get interesting.
It definitely is a head up the hill now. Dylan Alt just not able to get Jordy Fike, but I think that he will have the inside now going down into the bus stop, and he's got a little bit of slipstream from Schwenke, but obviously there he goes. Jordy Fike is able to hold on to that position. I believe Dylan Alt, they're just backing out just a little bit, but they are getting really, really close.
Yeah, that was a big run on by Dylan Alt, trying to see what he's going to do. He's going to try to do a cutback here. Oh, as he holds off a bit too. Yeah, I was expecting him to do a big cutback, but how aggressive he's been able to throw this car around and have it stick. So Dylan Alt still hanging on the 5th, but Jennifer McDonald's coming back into the picture as well with how these guys are fighting. And Thorman's probably loving this right now, but at the same time, he's got a mirror full of Travis Schwenke as well.
Yeah, Chris Thorman with him pretty much now. He's just gone out, though, to an 0.8 of a second gap, so he's gotten a little bit bigger of a gap. But Dylan Alt still not got too much now on Jordy Fike, just 0.3 now. So he's definitely going to be starting to make that move. Dylan Alt, with the pace that he's got right now, he has got absolutely rapid pace compared to these guys. He's 0.3 faster than the closest competitor up front to him. That was a 41.9 last lap from Travis Schwenke, compared to a 41.6 for Dylan Alt. So he is on the move right now. Compared to everyone else, he's generally 0.6 faster. So that just shows you the kind of pace that he has. He's going to look down the inside of Fike. He's not going to be able to get that move done. So he is going to have to start trying to make that move if he wants a chance at catching up to the front guys.
Yeah, and looking at that last lap time too, a 1:43.1, which ended up helping Jennifer McDonald, which she ran a 1:42.4. But this is going to get interesting because I think Dylan's starting to realize he's got to be patient here with some of these other drivers in this field. I mean, he's taken a lot of risk at the start, but still, we're only about almost 40 minutes into this race. A lot of things can happen, and I think Dylan's starting to finally realize it. But boy, this is going to get real interesting to see how much more aggressive Dylan will get here in this early stages of the race.
Yeah, definitely interesting indeed, as Jordy Fike is also quite close now to Michael Ruddick, so he's starting to close up the gap too. So this 3-car train is really not going anywhere. Michael Ruddick is losing a little bit of time to Travis Schwenke in front. Last time just about 7/10 of a second slower, but right now just about half a second behind, I believe, to him. But Dylan Alt looking down the inside of Jordy Fike. He's looking pretty much everywhere now, just trying to catch him off guard a little bit, but not able to do so. Jordy Fike, obviously a very experienced driver, running in the sports car series, making his move obviously over here for the World Challenge weekends. So this is definitely a little bit different for him, but Dylan Alt now 1/10 of a second behind him. So we'll see if he can get the move done down into turn 1.
I don't think he's going to be able to, because Georgie Fike, he's going to have to do a late move. As Georgie Fike gets on the brakes early, Dylan had to get on the brakes early, but he might have the run here. Whoa! As Ruddick goes wide, there's Jordy Fike on the inside, going up to the S, is going to be tight. Oh, contact by Dylan Alt. Jordy Fike hangs on to it from not hitting the Armco barrier. Dylan Alt moves up to 4th.
Jennifer McDonald now is going to look to the outside of Jordy Fike, so that's going to cost him more time than you would think. Jordy Fike, though, is going to stay down his inside. They're going to go 2 by 2 now through the second part of the chicane. They are going to keep it clean. They're not going to end up in the same fate that Travis Swanky did. But Travis Swanky now 4/10 of a second behind your leader, Chris Thorman. He has grown out now to a 1.9 second gap to Dylan Alt. Now as he goes down the inside, Dylan Alt, Michael Ruddick has gone around. We'll see if we can't get a replay of that here.
What? This looks like it'd be a late move, and just a little bit of contact and around. Good catch by Dylan Alt, but man, George Fike's not going to be happy about that.
Definitely not going to be happy about it at all. So we're going to ride here on board with Dylan Alt. That was a very late move. You can see him just fighting the wheel with the brakes there. I think he just kind of outbroke himself just a little bit. I just think he just kind of had to send it down the inside if he wanted any chance of possibly saving that car. There was no chance of him saving it going in a straight line. But now that has spread everyone out just a little bit more than they had been previously. Right now, the only pretty much anybody close than about a second, 1.2 seconds right now is these two up front. So Travis Swanky all over the back of Chris Thorman in that Colossal Racing car. So we'll see what he can do. I believe that this is a 2-stop race tonight, if I'm not mistaken, from previous weeks. So we will see what these drivers do pit stop wise. They always seem to throw up something a little bit weird. As you can see Travis Swanky now going to the outside of Chris Thorman. He is going to back off just a little bit, but this battling, though, if they do decide to continue on battling, it's just going to cost them a whole lot of time. But they do have a 4.1 second advantage right now to Dylan Alt.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say it was Michael Ruddick was the one that was actually got turned there by Dylan Alt, but I think both George Fike and Michael Ruddick are definitely going to have some beef with Dylan Alt later on tonight after this race is over, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on race control to see if anything pops up, because boy, Dylan trying to play aggressor and seeing what he can do. And I mean, still after that incident now, Dylan Alt's almost 4 seconds behind the gap of Travis Swanky and Chris Thorman. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, let alone if there's going to be any Stewart reviews, as well as actually, as I say it, there is an investigation now between the 12 and the 95 of that incident. So we could end up seeing a penalty here, more likely for the 12 car.
I'm back as well at this point. Come back just as that incident happened, and yeah, I could almost guarantee that was going to get looked at. So Kevin Ford in on it. Car number 12 has been issued a drive-through penalty as well. So, well, I have to say he's making this very, very difficult for himself. Is Dylan definitely had the pace to win this one, but that that drive-through penalty is going to severely hamper him now. So still time, he's still got the pace, but yeah, it's going to be a heck of a job right now.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at it now, I mean, there is still over an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, still an hour and 45 minutes left in this race. Pit stop strategies have not come to a play for a few drivers, but either way, that drive-through penalty is going to hurt, though, because from pit entrance to pit exit, it takes about roughly, from what I'm looking at, it takes about roughly 45 seconds. So that's going to be a big deficit that Dylan Alt is going to have to try to make up before they get to pit stops, which it's going to be interesting to see if he even tries to come back, which, I mean, granted, he's got the pace, but it's going to be a big question mark the rest of the race now.
Yeah, I mean the other factor is let's hope he does continue, because some drivers, you know, they've had a couple of incidents, you know, now got a drive-through penalty, might just park it with a bit of frustration. So let's hope that he doesn't do that. Let's hope that he continues on. That's for sure. Looks like he's about to serve the penalty now. Indeed, he does. Catches me at the inside curb as well. Just upsets the car. But yeah, it is just a drive-through. So. But that's going to put him back a good 30 odd seconds. I'm just keeping an eye on my live timing just so I can see the gap changing. It's just not what he wants. So Ruddock comes back past him. So that's kind of fair, you know. After the collision, that's kind of what you would want to see. That's the penalty sort of proving its worth, I would say, out there. So yeah, so he's come out and he's 20.7 seconds back. And what I might just do is quickly grab a calculator and kind of work out how many laps we're looking. We're looking at 41 laps, half a second a lap to make this back. So yeah, again, I will quickly do some calculations based on their lap times. Yeah, there's enough time. There is absolutely enough time in this race for him to get back at it. It's not going to be an awful lot left, perhaps 10-15 minutes. So he's going to absolutely have to go full steam, full chat for the rest of this race. We are looking at, he needs a half a second a lap out of the leaders to get that done by the end of the race. So that's well within him. That is what he's been doing earlier on. So it's not over for him yet. Hopefully his teammates are listening in on the comms, and you know, they've done the calculations themselves and know what sort of lap times they need to hit. But yeah, 100%, he can make it back to the lead in this one.
Yeah, keeping an eye now already. He's already caught up to David Alessi, as Chris Norman's now in the pits now. So it looks like pit stops are underway for the GTE drivers, and Dylan Alt back up the fifth, getting around David Alessi, and now he's going to make his charge to try to catch back up to Jennifer McDonald. So going to be interesting to see how this plays out, as Swanky now just starting to pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, Travis looking a little bit more comfortable. This is a bit more what we've seen from him in past races as well. So he's got Geordie Fike in the Phoenix Racing car in second place. Last time by, he was actually a couple of tenths faster than Travis, but still that gap up to sort of 4.3 seconds, and then there's a fairly sizable gap to Ruddock. So where we had sort of top 6-7 cars all within 3 seconds, all of a sudden it's just completely transformed this race, and we've got fairly sizable gaps now everywhere.
Hopefully once all the pit stops are done, we might see some close competition again. But man, this is going to be, at least it's going to give some of these drivers some breathing room, especially Chris Thorman with Coaxo Racing now that he's further back. He's closing up to Arthur Chan though in the Axon Driver Solution racing entry. But it'll be very interesting because Thorman being the first one to pit, so now he's going to be leading the way and seeing how much longer it'll be before any of these other teams decide to come in for their pit stop.
Yeah, Arthur's car still looking a little bit sketchy. Again, it turned in very quick change of direction, almost too quick, where it looked like perhaps just a little bit oversteery on the way in. So definitely seems to be fighting that Ford somewhat out there. Another car into the pit lane. That is Forrest Landy in the PMF Motorsports car there.
I'm back, chaps. Sorry about that.
Well,
yeah, how has that been in the last 10
I was
minutes?
about to say everything changed while you were gone. So
You missed a
yeah.
lot.
we had a nice close top 6, and now we've got gaps galore. So, but some pit stops gone in there, some more incidents, a drive-through penalty for
Dylan Alt.
yeah, for
And the number
Dylan.
12.
So yeah, it's
what?
it's
What
all
was that for?
changed. They made contact with the P2 car at the time.
Okay.
It was actually he made contact with Michael Ruddick going in. It was going into the left hand, the first left hander in the boot. Made contact with Michael Ruddick after almost making contact with George Fike earlier on in the lap. So it was a very eventful lap to say the least. As almost took out George
Oh, look.
Fike in the 63 at this going up the S's.
Tallman.
And then,
Oh, sorry, Tyler. Tallman
Yep.
very close to Chan there. Sorry to cut you off, but go on, carry on.
yeah, but yeah, it ended up being where Georgie Fike almost got made contact with Dylan Alt going up through the S's in that lap, and then shortly after that, after making it through the bus stop, after making it through the carousel, then the incident occurred with Michael Ruddick and Dylan Alt, and that's where the penalty came into play.
Iannucci in the pits, Alex, now, so he was a little bit further down, I think, than what he was originally. Even after the
Hopefully
after
get
the
some
collision, so
repairs done. I think that's what he needs. I think he definitely has got a little bit of suspension damage.
you mentioned Chan's car. He's got quite a lot of damage on the front right.
Yeah, you can
I
see
wonder
it
if that's
coming.
doing anything.
Yeah, and
It's a
like I
great
say,
run now.
seem to be struggling with the turn in with the oversteer. So, but yeah, it's like candy from a baby. I feel this is going to be. It is indeed. So, just hearing, we might have a replay, Andrew, of the incident as well, so we can probably switch it back and probably show you what happened.
All right, so he's going. So
There we go.
This wasn't much space there, was there?
No, and
There wasn't, as in there wasn't much space to dive up the inside. Is what I meant.
Yeah, there wasn't at all.
I think you've got to put that one on alt from that far back.
Yeah.
That's very optimistic. Very optimistic. I mean, I like the opportunism of it, but it would have required the car in front to just make an utter mess of the turning and go and basically not make the corner at all in order for no contact to be made. So it's when you know it's not a great move. Geordie Fike into the lead then, at least temporarily, having not stopped. We've got a battle in the pit lane, actually. We've got Ruddock, McDonald, Alt, Alessi, Schwenke, all in there. And Schwenke's handed over to Robert Hartley, and we know how good he is for the Excite Energy Racing team, man.
Yeah, so I did some calculations and thought that Alt could still get to the front, but he needed to continue that half a second lap faster. So when we see Hartley get in the car, this will be the interesting part. Now, has Hartley got a little bit more pace than his teammate, or is it going to be the other way around? So is Travis going to be the quicker one? So a little bit of pressure perhaps on Rob to do the business out there and keep up that sort of lap pace. Needs to dip into the 41s, I feel. To
41s again, definitely. Even with the higher fuel load that they'll be carrying at this point in the race. 41s is what they'll be aiming for as a minimum, I think. Just interestingly as well, because he hasn't pitted, Tyler Schiffler is up to 5th in the GTD entry.
Now, somebody who has pitted is Chris Thorman. Chris Thorman has pitted and is 10 seconds clear. Quite different pit stop times, 52 seconds against 1 minute 4. So
can we see that pit stop graphic again, please, Tyler? It wasn't up there for long enough for me to have a look at it. So for those of you who don't know, the coloured bar, the yellow section is the first stint, the blue section is the second stint. So you can see obviously that Raymond Bader pitted on lap 4, and that's what that's why his blue line is quite longer than everybody else's. And then you see the pit stop times coming into play there on the right hand side. Very nice, neat new piece of kit for us. I don't think we've had that. I think that's very new, isn't it, Alex?
I think it might have been there for a little while, but just not.
Maybe
all.
I just don't know how to use it. Maybe that's it.
But yeah. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for the second stint because I'm expecting where people haven't done driver swaps and things like that, that will sort of cycle back around and we'll see some shorter and some longer stops in the next one. So Dylan Alt stays in the car.
Mike Dam's in the car as well for Crypto-G Racing Orange, and this will be a great battle because Mike Dam's one of the fastest drivers in the World Challenge.
Yeah, indeed he is. And let's see what sort of lap times he's doing as well, because there was definitely a bit of damage on the car before it was handed over to him. So that was a good minute pit stop as well.
They've
Phoenix
got
Racing had a Phoenix Racing really long stop. So that was 1:30 for them basically. So yeah, that really
6 seconds in the box.
Yeah, that really hurt them. So that can
driver
only
change,
be
though, isn't it? Surely.
well, the others have done a driver change as well, so that can only be a penalty. That's got to be a 20-second speeding penalty in there as well. So Phoenix Racing were in a really strong position, and it's definitely knocked them down a little bit.
So
nobody wants to win this race, do they?
No, I don't think they do. After one stop each, then Torman leads by 12 seconds. Then it's another 12 seconds back to Jennifer McDonald, who's in third. Then it's another 13 seconds to Mike Dam. And then it's this battle we're watching here. Dam, Alt, Cartier, and then it's Chan and Bader, just 2-3 seconds behind them. So this will be a great battle. Like I said, Mike Dam, Ricmotech Sports Car Champion on... I don't know exactly how many times it is, Alex, but I'm pretty sure it's more than once.
Oh yeah, many occasion. Not for the last few seasons though. The man who was in the chat earlier on, Aaron of course, having phenomenal performance the last few seasons.
Phenomenal.
I'll give you that
You're
one.
good at this. Yeah. I'll have you back next time.
Oh, thank you.
Dam versus Alt. Now, Alt's going to get the slipstream on Mike Dam here. So the Canadian is going to have to, I think, maybe do James Bond style oil slick. It won't be oil, it'll be maple syrup, no doubt, out of the back of that thing if he does, but to try and stop Dylan Alt getting through.
Maple syrup. I'll take it.
Don't you start as
Get it on my keto pancakes.
Oh, there you go. Get on my pancake.
Sugar-free, please.
That's it. Oh, God. Is there such a thing as sugar-free maple syrup, by the way?
Absolutely, I have it all the
Really?
time. Yeah.
Really? Genuinely?
It genuinely is, and I do have it on my pancake.
I did not think that was possible. I don't know why.
There you go. It does make them palatable. I thought very.
Does that say more about your cooking than the maple syrup, or I don't know?
No, just generally not as tasty as normal pancake. I think.
So
that's
Dylan, hey, well, this is a tasty battle. And Mike Dam, he's got his hands full here, hasn't he? And Dylan Alt's not going to be just looking forward either because of Brian Cartier. And
Brian is quick. Brian's throwing in some quick sector times there as well in the last lap. So you're right. He's got to get by. Dylan's got to get by him quite quickly. We know this because of the the half a second that he needs to do. And while Dam is lapping reasonably, I mean a 42.8 last time, definitely quicker than what Iannucci was running. He was only able to sort of keep it in the 43 after the damage.
This is a chance, Alex. This is a real chance for Alt now. Got a really terrific run. Dam kind of hit the curb on the inside as well, so we're going to get a duel into the braking zone. And Alt backs down. Did he get a slow down penalty? He's back down and let Cartier through as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I do not know.
Excuse me.
Oh God! Car's all over the shot at the minute for Alt. So, I have to say,
he was wide there as well.
It's not done and dusted for him yet, but it's not looking good, I have to say. I thought we bigged him up thinking that he had this chance to drive through the pack. It's just not happening for him at all right now. What is curious for us, I think, really, that we need to keep an eye on is what's going on with Thorman and Hartley, because they have done completely different strategies out there right now. So 43.4 for Thorman and 42.8 for Hartley. So that's a half a second. So that gap is coming down as well, pretty nicely. So, but yeah, definitely alternate strategies. I'm guessing that's driver, could just be driver change
Tolman's
versus
spent
no
12,
driver
12
change.
seconds less in the pits, yeah.
Yeah. So. And possibly just fuel and no tyres or something like that as well for Thorman. So once again, Chan turning into turn 1 at Ford, just looking mighty twitchy on the way in. Good run here, surely, for Brian. That Phoenix racing car looking good through the S's. No
Damn, that's a
problems
go.
whatsoever. Yeah, that's clean.
Oh, we might have cut the inside though. May well have cut the course there actually as well. I
Looks like
don't
he's got
think
away
he's
with
serving
it.
a slowdown penalty.
Yeah, I think he got away with that one. So a good move, and up and past and through.
I still get a bit shocked when I see Mike Dam get overtaken. I know it's quite a normal thing, but
I still think he's
it's so
suffering.
good you don't often see it.
No, very true, but I do think he's suffering with a bit of damage in that car. Hasn't been able to lap perhaps quite what we were expecting from the earlier on pace. So didn't half take a hit though, didn't he? In that collision, you can see the car is roughed up around the edges. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
A few scuffs on the bodywork, and as well as that sort of hit to the suspension and the front diffuser.
Oh, was that's the ult?
That's
He's got ult like
Oh.
really slow through the final sector.
Yeah, saves it.
Doesn't want to cook his tyres, Alex. They've not been on for that long.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Only been
they
on
are.
for 7 laps.
Thinking they are cooked. To be honest.
They might be now, yeah. So can we see, Tyler, I wonder if we can see, I don't know if you can find what happened to him there just in that last sector, that what sounded like a big slide or something, that cost him quite a lot of time. Bader's in the pits again. Is that the third time he's been in the pits or the second? It's the second time he's been in the pits. Kevin Ford is in the pits taking over from Bader then. He's going to do the second half of this race. Rob Hartley has got the gap down from 12 to 11 seconds. So yeah, he's closing in slowly on Chris Tolman, but you know, it'd be interesting to see if he can make up some of that time that he lost in the pit stops in the next round of pit stops.
Yeah, just chipping away at it at the moment. So, Tyler, just a little bit of research for you that you perhaps come back. Just checking who took tyres and who didn't take tyres in that pit stop. Obviously, I definitely can see some driver swaps gone on, but it'd be interesting to know who's on slightly older rubber and who's on newer rubber out there. If you could
Absolutely.
have a little look and try and work that one out.
Well, I can answer your other question too. I went back and looked at the replay for when you guys were trying to figure out what happened with Dylan Alt. He actually downshifted and had his left side tires on the grass, and when he downshifted, he practically went dead sideways as Dylan Alt is coming into the pits now, because remember, his first pit stop was actually for the drive-through penalty. So this is his first legitimate now stop for the 12th car.
Oh, of course it was, yes. So, yeah, that's going to set him back quite a way. Problem for Mike Dam as well. What's going on out there with Mike Dam? He's just dropped down the order massively.
That's probably Mike Dam's internet again, isn't it? Because that's what tends to happen. Dylan Alt looks like a problem as well.
Yeah, I hate to say this. I'm
They
looking
hit each
at
other?
his pink. I'm looking at no. Alex.
Oh,
you
Dam's
might
back,
be
is he?
right. You might be right, Alex. I'm keeping up. The quality's going up the green, but he's got massive ping though.
Is Mike Dam back?
I think he is back. Yeah, he's jumped back up to 5th on the timing screen as well. So
What's
yeah,
happened to Dylan Holt? It says he's out.
yeah, I think they've retired the car, have they?
Oh wow.
What, he's retired the car out of choice, or? It looks like it, doesn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
from
came into
what-
the pit lane about a minute ago and it didn't emerge from it.
Well, I'm looking at the roster lineup for Proximity Racing, and there is 2 other drivers, so that's odd that they have not. No driver swap or nothing. That is.
I just think that's a combination of everything that's gone on. Bit of frustration built in, not wanting to continue there. So that's a shame because the car definitely had the pace to work their way back towards the front. Like I say, we were on the calculator working it out. Definitely had the speed to do that. So yeah, our next battle really that we're going to pay close attention to then I think really is going to be what's going on between Hartley and Thorman, because that's actually going to be a good one in terms of strategy and things like that. They're spread apart a fair distance on the circuit at the moment, but yeah, pace difference if there are tyres versus not tyres there in that strategy. It's not a huge lot of advantage. And Andrew, I'm guessing you know as well as I do that when you've got these cold overcast conditions, the rubber just lasts so much longer.
Oh yeah, and that is one of the things about the current tyre model that both delights and frustrates us in equal measure. And yeah, it does. The cooler temperatures just make it so much kinder to the tyres, and as well, Alex, so much easier to bring the tyres back if you have a mistake than if it's warm.
Yeah, exactly. Where you'd normally be
Sometimes
looking
you
at.
can't bring them back if
Yeah,
well,
no, very much so. But yeah, I think if you just take it easy for a lap or so, you can get them back into the sort of temperature range that you want them. So critical, of course, higher temperature in iRacing. We know the hotter it gets, the worse it gets.
We do have a battle for 7th place between Russell Ruddock and Forrest Landy, and that is Flying Tortoise Motorsport versus PMF Motorsport. And Landy's just chilling like at the 4, 5, 10th mark in that really nice livery. It reminds me of the old Rothmans Porsche livery from the 90s, Alex.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just hearing my in-race chat, that it's probably time that we head to a little commercial break. So yeah, Tyler Maxwell, if you're available to send us over to that break, then yeah, please do. We'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes time here on Apex Racing TV. Before you go, if you haven't liked the video already, for all those that are watching, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, but here's the opportunity.
Oh,
Before we go.
and Ruddock's lost it. Ruddock's lost it. He's in the tyre wall, and it was just again he's hit that curb, I think, quite hard on the way in. Let's just see. Turns it in, no dramas there. Oh, it pogos a bit, doesn't it?
That's it.
Oh,
Well,
just bounced around over the curbs and just lost the rear, and he's had some trouble getting it back on quickly. Still recovering to the circuit. He's lost a place legitimately to Tyler Shiflett there in the other class. So yeah, that's not gone well at all for Ruddock. But yeah, on that note, I think we're going to go to the break. So we'll be back very shortly here on Apex Racing TV.
Are you a fan of the Ricmotech World Challenge? Now is your chance to show off your favorite sim racing world challenge by visiting our online store with clothing and apparel for women and men in all sizes, merchandise and gift items like coffee mugs, laptop skins, mouse pads, and many more items to display your passion for sports car sim racing. Visit us today at ExtremeMotorsports99.com and click on the online store button. Thank you for watching and supporting the Ricmotech World Challenge. Are you a fan of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series? Now is your chance to show off your favorite sim racing series by visiting our online store with clothing and apparel for women and men in all sizes, merchandise and gift items like coffee mugs, laptop skins, mouse pads, and many more items to display your passion for sports car sim racing. Visit us today at ExtremeMotorsports99.com and click on the online store button. Thank you for watching and supporting the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Welcome back to the Ricmotech World Challenge. Here at Watkins Glen, Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson, Tyler Vickery, and Tyler Maxson. Packed house in the commentary booth. Alex, yeah, we've needed all these people to keep track of the action out there. It's been great so far.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's just we've had crazy battle in packs that we thought we weren't going to see, to be fair, and then all kinds of different strategies going on, and now we've had cars retiring, and we've had a crash from one of the main contenders as well while we're away on the break. We might be able to get a replay of this as well. We'll check it out, but of course Mike Dam has towed back to the pits, so problems for the championship's leader out there.
Yeah, did we see what happened to him there?
Yeah, I think we're trying to get the replay at the moment.
When I looked at tried to look at the replay, it only gave like a split second, and it looked like It looked like he
might have been
might
into
get him wrecked at the either that or it looked like he wrecked getting into the bus stop from what I noticed. It was like a split second and that was it.
That bus stop, there's quite a few people out today, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, including Russell Ruddock, just as we went to the break. Saw him falling foul of that.
That's the replay of that as well that we just had on the screen. But yeah,
You said nobody wants to win this race, man. I pretty much agree with you.
yeah, it definitely seems to be like that. So, I mean, Chris Thorman, perhaps the only people that haven't, I don't want to curse them, but not done anything wrong and actually looking like they're trying to push forward still. And just seeing that the proximity car is back out there as well. So Chase Bonser is in the car now. So
Kevin Ford.
oh dear,
Kevin Ford's gone into the barrier. Now he's having to Austin Powers it in the middle of the course.
So I say, can I have a turn in the road, please, using forward and reverse gears? Everyone should know how to do that.
Saying that though, the car park outside my shop, I don't believe you, because I mean, he seems like he's actually the minority of people who actually know how to turn around. He's absolutely crazy. They can't even master the basics of driving, half these people. Chris Torman, then, he's definitely mastered the basics of this. Oh, it's pretty close with the Audi, I must say, though. Probably wasn't too bad on board, but from the outboard shot, it looked like that could have been a little close. Somebody with quite a bit of damage there, Alex. That's a Porsche. It was a Lacey, wasn't it? Who was in that one? It's not a Lacey anymore. It's I don't honestly know who that is. In front of Bonser.
Yeah, on different laps, I think they are as well. So
Who's that in front of Bonser then? Don't actually know. Oh, Monaghan.
Monaghan, yeah.
But he's got really bad damage. Dear me. Look at that rear wing.
Suffering with 145
Look
that
at it.
time as well. But
He's
yeah.
come off the mounting, Alex. It's so bad nearly.
Looking forward to seeing what the new damage model does for these cars. You know, how they start to explode and things like that.
That'd be great.
Bits of debris on the circuit as the leader wants to get by, and indeed does.
I think the days of car manufacturers being, shall we say, pansies about the damage and things like that. Hopefully, Torman!
Ooh.
And he's very nearly lost it completely there. He's gone across the inside of the carousel. I wonder if he has got a slowdown penalty. But these conditions playing havoc. Oh, and that was because. And Monaghan, he just went to take the corner, realised, hang on a minute, Torman's there. God, we could have had again, that could have been yet another person falling foul of strange things happening.
Indeed, and the gap now down to 6.7 seconds. So all of a sudden, we lose 3 or 4 seconds to the leader. So Hartley closing back in. There's a good battle
This is
out there at the moment, which is what we're watching. So yeah, the Phoenix Racing and the Team Street Survival, and up the inside.
And where's the?
Very much.
Oh yeah, nicely done by Cartier. Definitely sent that one in well on McDonald.
Showing good pace as well. Is Brian right now as well. Last lap 42.2. Thorman into pits. Very early.
Yeah. I wonder if that
Damaged tyres.
Tires maybe.
They didn't. I don't think they did take tyres, so that little slide and things like that can cook them. But they're probably in their window to be able to get in, and not have to survive that many laps on an old set of tyres. So
Well, this is Ruddock versus Monaghan. Monaghan patient for now. Oh, sorry, Ruddock patient for now behind Monaghan.
David Payton jumps into that lead car, by the way. So driver swap happening at the same time as a new set of boots being put on.
Yeah, we'll see what David Payton can do. Very similar pace to Chris Tolman on an ordinary race, I think. So I don't see them losing any performance there with Payton. McDonald fighting back on Cartier. They were side by side for a second. Don't know exactly what happened there, but they were side by side just a few seconds ago. Yeah, it's a bit weird. It did say less than a tenth of a second on the timing screen. And Payton's come out 6/10 ahead of Landy. 5/10, 4/10. Landy could have a run here, Alex, into the chicane, I tell you.
Yeah, and every right too as well. I don't think he's gonna though. No, lifts out of it. Alright.
I remember you had an accident here in the was it in the iRacing World Championship into that corner once, was it? When somebody went up your inside?
I think it was the pro qualifiers
Oh, okay.
actually. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm trying to remember.
But I remember you said somebody stormed up the inside sort of a bit recklessly. I remember that. But my point on that is that there's not a lot of braking area here, even in these cars. So it's not really a corner where you can actually you can make a dive bomb as such.
No, and of course in the car that I was doing it in was the FW31, so the braking was negligible to say the least. We absolutely hammer it through there. But yeah, even in these, the braking, there's not, you don't do an awful lot of braking going into there, that's for sure.
Indeed.
Whole bunch of pit stops. I think we perhaps ought to just check in a little bit with Tyler Shiflett in the Motorsport car, because we haven't really talked too much about our GT3 leader. He's kind of been doing his thing.
We've seen him passing a lot of GTLM cars, actually.
Yeah.
Who've crashed.
So, but yeah, that Mercedes sounding lovely as it always does. Looking good out there as well.
It's got like a low growl to the Mercedes, doesn't it?
Oh, it has. It just sounds like an old World War II airplane.
Spitfire.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, you can't call it a Spitfire. You need to call it a Messerschmitt, I'm afraid.
Oh, I mean,
But, yeah.
we have to be correct about these things, of course.
No, yeah, they will not be happy being associated with a Spitfire.
It's all right though, because we won that one, so it's fine.
But yeah, absolute beast of a car. So
Don't mention the war, sir. Indeed. This is on board with Shiflett, seeing him at the wheel. Look at the wheel, Alex. It's very minimalist, isn't it? That steering wheel in that Mercedes.
yeah, for what is an absolute tank.
Oh yeah, and he's got this dainty little wheel.
Tiny little thing that controls it. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It makes an F1 wheel look comparatively massive. Yeah. Matt Owens has crashed in the TMC racing car.
Let's see if we can get a little look at that. All of a sudden, some action in GT3.
Canadian in the Audi, and it's again that inside curb.
Yeah.
Does he keep it out of the fence? I think he has.
Much so, yeah. So.
Oh. Yeah, let's not look at the 3-point turn because I'm not sure it's. Oh dear, it's not always the best one, is it?
Like I say, people are doing their best to do their Austin Powers impressions tonight.
Did you see that video, by the way, that on iRacing? I think it's part of the iRacing fails video.
Oh, for the pit lane one, yes.
Where yeah, for those who don't know, he's a chap who was in a Porsche, I think it was a Porsche, and he spun it coming through the final sector at the Nordschleifer, and he went down the old pits, and sideways and a perfect 90-degree angle, and just got wedged between the edge of the pit lane and the wall, and he just could not move. He couldn't even go. He couldn't even just do the Austin Powers thing. He couldn't go anywhere. So I think I would assume you have to tow back to the pits.
I guess so. Trying to shift it
Crazy.
into the pits as well, so I'll lead her in.
Can you imagine that though? I tell you, especially if it was like an endurance race or something.
Oh,
I think it might have been the 24-hour race, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Can't remember the.
So-
They do say what they
Because
were
the
in. don't they,
Kia, the
fails?
Kia's involved in that, isn't it? Is that right? Is the Kia involved in the Nürburgring 24 hours? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think it was the 24 hours. Can you imagine? That's your endurance race, and that happens to you, man.
Surely it shouldn't take long to tow if it was on the pit lane entry. It'd be a disaster if it was on the way out, wouldn't it?
Different pit lane, wrong
Yeah.
pit lane.
Oh,
But yeah, not very, but very close by to the other one. So yeah. Oh god, if it was if you did that on the way off of the GP layout or
Yeah.
something, 100% terrible.
just looking at the Phoenix Racing car here as well, 42.3. So consistently quicker than our race leader Rob Hartley at the moment. Not by a huge amount, 0.3 of a second. Definitely had a different pit stop strategy in terms of the last one. So a minute 30 in the box against minute 4. So Stephen Thomas, Driftline Racing into the box, up on the jacks at the moment as well. Bit of smoke coming from that car.
Yeah.
Is that an engine gone or is it just a standard pit stop?
I think it will, because I've not seen anything say that he's crashed or anything like that.
Drops him down, away he goes. So yeah, no
so-
problem there. So just yeah, I've not
Maybe
seen
he
that
did.
before. Car
Maybe he did have some
randomly,
damage.
yeah. I've never seen random smoking. So
He was
unless
in the
was spinning
pits
the
for
wheel.
1 minute, and he was in the box for 1 minute and 12 seconds, Alex. So maybe there was some required repairs needed or something like that.
Yeah, possibly. Problem for Chase out there as well in the proximity car. Just seeing it on the screen saying that he had a crash and off track and things like that. So
Now we do
gone from bad
apologise
to worse.
to Chase Bonser for the name on the screen not being the one, but yeah, we don't really know what's wrong with that, because it says it's fine in the file. I know, I saw that myself the other week. Yeah, just a small mistake for him. Dean Chen has taken over from Arthur Chan. So Chan out, Chen in. There you go. That's one that might confuse you at 3 a.m. or whatever time it is. It's in the UK. What time is it actually?
2:30.
Half past 2.
Yeah.
So it's late enough, put it this way. Now, David Payton, how's he doing? Looking at his last lap time, 1:43.4. So he was the slowest out of the top 5, which doesn't bode too well for Coaxial Racing. Jennifer McDonald is in the pits for Team Street Survival, and I assume she's going to be handing over the car. Now I do remember, yeah, it's Jeff Jacobs who's getting in that one, so very similar pace, those two. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Jacobs can do. Is he going to get out in front of Payton? That's the question, Alex, at the moment. Don't think he's quite out of his box yet. No, and they've gone through, look, so... Oh no, Payton has got out, just in front of Jacobs. Oh, he's just in front of Landy, sorry. Then Jacobs still
In the book, yeah.
Still in the box. I wonder if they can make it now on this one stop. And I wonder if that's why we're seeing these longer stops, Alex, now, because they're brimming the tank for the end.
I would think so. We kind of expected 2 stops, and they can definitely make it from here. So
All right, 1 hour 29 minutes gone here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Problem for Connor Brannan in the proximity racing car. Is that the third driver they've had in that car? I think it is, isn't it?
I think so. Literally, just as we said about Bonzo in the car, he's jumped out, and the other teammates
He's had enough.
having a bit of a play. Yeah.
Although they had retired the car earlier on, hadn't they? So they lost 2 or 3 laps, didn't they, because of that?
Yeah, it's not gone at all well for them, have they? We definitely give them a chance at winning it, and unfortunately, yeah, cursed them, I'm afraid. So who are we expecting to come into the pits soon?
So Rob Hartley needs to come in.
So Peyton's been in as well.
Cartier hasn't been in for a second time. And also then Forrest Landy hasn't been in either.
Yeah, so Hartley and Cartier, 30 and 31 they came in the last time, so can go a little bit longer, but yeah, expect to see them in at a similar sort of time. Yeah, Landy also in on 28 originally, so a bit longer, so yeah, very early stop for Peyton.
You
But
don't
that
think
was
that
to
the
do
cold
with
conditions are going to cause his tyres too many problems, even though they're 4 laps earlier, so...
Yeah, I don't think so. It's whether some might not even be thinking about no tires, you know. This may be why I think like Peyton and that they were like, well, the cool tires, we'll do that little short stint on old tires.
That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll brim the car. We'll do that hour-long stint, put new tires on it, and away we go. So could be a cunning strategy. We'll have to wait and see, though. Of course, that gap did come down to 6 seconds because they did have that all near miss, didn't they? Just before the pits. So
Yes.
right now, the gap to our leader is 1 minute and 10 seconds, and pit lane lost time is somewhere in that region. Last time for Hartley, it was 1 minute and 4. So could be a bit longer.
Yeah, I'm just looking at lap times as well. 42.9 for Peyton. Cartier lying 42.2. 3/10 quicker than Hartley. So yeah, with an hour to go, it's not done and dusted at the front, is it?
Yeah, they've had equal number of pit stops, though, haven't they? But different in strategy. Some have taken tyres and others haven't. So I think that's the.
But again,
the
there may be whether they want to do another driver change or not, I don't know. Maybe they have to make one. I can't remember what the rules are in terms of that. But...
Yeah, Tyler, what's going on out there from your point of view? Anything that that you've seen or spotted or want to take a quick look at?
Nothing really that I've seen other than looking at the lap times. Kevin Ford's been starting to run a little bit cleaner after his little spin. He is though about 3 seconds behind Dean Chen, so that'll be one to definitely keep an eye out. But just with how David Payton is for Coaxial Racing, that's still just a huge gap to see how far behind they are with Robert Hartley and Brian Cartier. So it'll be interesting to see how they catch up, because I'll be curious to see how soon it'll be before Hartley does decide to pit.
Yeah, like any time now, I think he could be due in. And just to bring our cameraman back in again for a little moment, Tyler, I mean, kept you busy at the start of this race, and yeah, it just seems to be dying off. I'm not seeing many battles out there right now.
Not too many battles out there. I'm pretty much just trying to get anything I possibly can over here in the camera booth. Just looking for anybody getting any close. But everyone's pretty much spread out now. We're looking at pretty much minimum 3-second gap. The closest gap right now that I'm seeing is between Kevin Ford and Dean Chen. So those two, just about a 3-second gap. Ford is starting to catch just a little bit, so we may have a battle on our hands here in a few laps' time. But for right now, we're seeing everyone pretty much all spread out.
Connor Brannon, possibly a crash or another incident. They're really not having the best of times out there right now.
No. Oh, oh. See, it looks such a pathetic spin, but you get that death wiggle on Alex, and it just can, you sometimes just can't recover from that.
That's exactly what we just saw there. There was many attempts to try and save it, but tyres just cooked. And yeah, every time you catch it, it just goes again.
And by that time, there's just nothing you can do. You're just a passenger. Watkins is awful for that as well, because the Armco barriers are so close to the circuit. That's one reason that you struggle to ever get a Grand Prix going here, for instance, because they've restricted in how much track they can use, aren't they? Really,
Yeah,
how much area they've got.
It's so high speed as well, and then with the Armco so close. So, I mean, when's we don't even see IndyCar here now, do we? So.
That's a good question. I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah.
I'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just too quick and too dangerous for them. We obviously see the.
It's crazy, but they're going back to Laguna Seca.
Yeah. We see NASCAR, with the Sprint Cup, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not there with IndyCar this year. But yeah, like I say, they are going to Laguna, which kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Don't know what they're going to do for the corkscrew, because that was obviously there was a death there last time that I think last time they were at Laguna Seca, or one of the last times they were there.
Oh wow!
Because the corner is just, how that barrier is at the corkscrew. It's quite close to the circuit, so if somebody has a failure or something, which I think is what happened, it's going straight into the wall and going over the fence, I think. So, I think it's tough. You've got to have safety in mind. You've got to make the circuits a challenge, and you do have to have some element of fear. Otherwise, it's not the sport that we know, is it? Really, Alex? If there's no fear, it's not proper motor racing, is it? But at the same time, you don't want undue risk either.
Isn't that the debate we had in terms of real motorsports versus sim racing? So a lot of people will watch real motorsport because there is that general danger to it compared to a sim racing race, which actually, in terms
There's
of
nothing wrong
racing,
with,
can be way more entertaining. And talking about entertaining racing, here we go. Kevin Ford has closed up.
How fast he's closing it.
Ford v Ford. Gonna try and get the up and under, get the run up the hill. No, just runs a little bit wide. Uses extra runoff.
Not only that, Ford in the Ford versus Ford.
Yeah.
Can't afford to have a crash. Oh my word, good grief. And as the trees obscure the view, where is he? There he is. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff by Dean Chen to hang on to that one. Really well done indeed. Yeah, tough sometimes.
Just a matter of time, I think, for Kevin to get this move done. Oh, looks it's all over him, every corner.
Chen's defending hard. to the inside of the chute. Oh, big twitch from Ford on the exit as he tries to get the power down in the Ford GT. And then and here's the first time we've seen Jim List tonight. He's just behind Chad Parker. Oh, they're very close together. They're teammates.
Come out of nowhere, didn't this battle? They were nowhere near each other, surely, I thought. But yeah, again, just difference in pit stop times, I think. But
Yeah, we've also got Leon Wright now leading the way in the in GTD. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Leon Wright leading the way in that class by 22 seconds.
driver swap a little bit earlier on. Oh, what do we got? That is yeah, Michael Monaghan into the pits.
Is that his second stop or his third stop?
This will be his second stop, second and final one. So yeah, drivers still to stop. We've got Rob
Look
Hartley.
at Ford, Alex. Sorry, very
Clark
quickly.
is
He's
getting
just really monstering Chen. He'll be a brave man if he tries to go around the outside at the chicane, though. Brave, maybe read foolish. Who knows? Can he go around the... Oh, look at the
good
traction he's
exit.
got on the exit. Yeah, that's lovely. No wheel spin at all. You could hear it. You could hear that was a good corner. And now he's trying to go all the way around the outside. Is there a space for him to just sneak up the inside into the right-hander? No, there isn't. The right-hander at the toe of the boot. Here in Watkins Glen. Good run out there again. Into the bottom of the hill, Alex. This is a better chance, isn't it?
Still, he's gonna have to go around the outside. Never easy.
Oh, he's moving across a little bit, is Chen. Almost forced Kevin Ford onto the grass. He's doing well, Kevin, though. He's trying a lot of different lines. A lot of different tactics. Is he going to go for it in the second to last corner? It's a tough opportunity. Not much opportunity at all. It's not really a braking area in there. It's like a dab of the brakes and a downshift. And Kevin Ford nearly loses the car.
That Ford twitch for you there. But he's got enough pace that he'll be back there in a few laps' time, I've no doubt. But yeah, nearly 2 seconds lost for that little moment.
We didn't we see that car, the Ford GT, in its first ever race at Silverstone when it came out?
I think we did.
And it's quite a boat of a thing, isn't it, in person? When you see it going down the track, it kind of floats around the track, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it can do that to you, which, it can take people by surprise somewhat, that's for sure. Put Kevin Ford a bit by surprise, but he's closing back in gradually on Chen. Just want to finish. I want to come back to your point as well about the sim racing versus real racing. It's funny when you know people will love Formula One or they'll love touring cars or MotoGP or whatever it is, and then you'll show them a sim race, and they'll go, "Well, this is stupid."
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I don't understand because it's literally the same thing.
Better. Yeah, exactly. And you watch the racing, and some of it's just even better. You know, some of the battling and things like that. Yeah.
It's literally the same thing. I think the element of danger is, and I suppose this is one thing that our sport has to do. And if I'm going to be blunt about it, our sport needs to spend some serious money in increasing the name of the drivers involved in the sport. That's another reason I think why people don't watch sim racing as much as real racing, is because of the fact that, you know, in real racing you've got the big names like Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel and all those guys. In sim racing, the guys haven't been, I think it's fair to say, Alex, the guys haven't been promoted up to this point. As Chen goes very wide and Ford says, "Thank you very much, I will have that. You made that very easy for me, sunshine."
Yeah. Right opportunity there. Just waited. That little mistake to come. It was always going to happen. You can only defend so long.
But the long and short of it for me is that if you build the personalities and the name value and stuff, I'm thinking, you know, when you look at other esports, you think of something like something like Fortnite, for instance, that the people, the creators around Fortnite, and especially the YouTube and Twitch streamers and things, they've built the big names for themselves, haven't they, Alex? And as the leader pits, and that's one of the reasons, if people like Martin Kroenke or the like of the the best drivers in our sport get big time recognition at some point, I can see casual motorsport fans bleeding into sim racing. Definitely.
Yeah, I do agree, and I believe that like F1 esports is going in the right direction to try and build a bit of personality with the drafts and all that sort of stuff. You know,
And the fact that it's on TV as well is
exactly.
great.
It's a good format and things like that, and the real teams had to sort of step in with it and stuff. So has made massive leaps sim
Yeah.
racing in the last few years.
Yeah,
Problem
and
you've
I
got with
can.
stuff.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's all right.
I was gonna say I was gonna add into it as well. I mean, especially with how much the esports has been going. Even like I'll give a good example regarding my school. A lot of you people that are watching it, I don't know. A lot of you know I'm currently at Full Sail with for Dan Patrick School of Broadcasting. Next week is our Full Sail is our Hall of Fame, and we get all these different companies in. And there's actually I have been going through the schedule, and there is actually a few um, companies that are actually looking at the esports as well and seeing about possibly expanding out even further. So I think with how the esports is going, and especially with what Overwatch is doing on TBS, I know there's a few other big video games that have been out lately.
Oh,
That
they've
have
got a TV
done
deal,
a lot
have
of.
they?
Yeah,
That's
I will double
interesting.
check, but I believe on TBS, Turner Network has now been broadcasting the Overwatch League on their channel
That's
live.
cool.
So, and I remember a few. There was I remember CS:GO when they've had their big majors. I have noticed that TBS has been doing a lot, and I think now there's a lot of other companies. I'm just going through some of my other stuff of some of the companies that are going to be at Full Sail for this Hall of
Cartier
Fame
in
week.
as well, just to interrupt Tyler. Cartier in, and Hartley then, Alex, is
Should
just coming out of the heel.
and add into that, I want to say Hartley should get by easily because the pit lane timer, and that's with fuel and tires. It takes about 1:20 roughly.
Yeah, it was a pretty short stop for Rob 120. Oh, they're out already.
Oh,
Phoenix Racing.
oh wow.
Very short stop. This
Wow,
is
No
only
wow.
50 seconds. So give themselves
17.9 in the box.
they've given themselves an
Mm.
opportunity here. I mean, it is only
How the tables have
25
turned.
minutes left of this race. So yeah, 7 seconds.
They were
Let's
quicker than XI Energy though before the pit stops as well.
let's see how that's gonna pan out. 7 seconds can Hartley run this down. I'm pretty sure he's got tires, so yeah.
What an effort from a really brilliant effort from Cartier. In order to turn this one around, I tell you, absolutely brilliant. Of course, just on that point, Alex, as well. As this is, we'll just quickly look at this. Forrest Landy going round the outside of Dean Chen at the bus stop chicane, really committed there. And Chen tries to fight back. They're still side by side. Round the outside of the carousel now. And if he can keep it, yeah, he can. Goes into sixth place. That was a really good move by Forrest Landy. But yeah, Alex, of course, we did bring esports to TV a few years ago ourselves, didn't we?
Oh, of course we did. Yeah, with
A couple of fairly major, well, not major networks, but fairly sized networks.
yeah, so Motor TV and of course Jinx Esports TV. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's still impressive there. I think I've been at one point because every now and then I'll watch the Motorsport TV on YouTube, like some of the stuff on there, and then I'll go up on their website and I've seen them promote it there too, which I was impressed when I saw.
There you go. You see, Alex, it's still going in some shape or form, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how long it'll be before esport gets onto a major network, not just Turner, but like more like local, where like instead of like Fox, NBC, or even
Well,
Disney with
over
ABC.
here, it has been on a major network. So it was on Sky Sports F1, you know, so it doesn't get any bigger
Yes.
than that over here. So that
In
was
terms of,
the F1,
sports,
F1
yeah.
esports, yeah. So
And I
Ah,
believe that they've done. I want to say they've done some esports on something like BT Sport, but I'm not certain on that. But yeah, Sky Sports F1 had live coverage. They had a proper studio set with Jack Nicholls and Davide Valsecchi doing the commentary. So really, really sort of polished broadcast.
man.
And
Well, I guess I need to get on to some of my. If I get a chance to talk to some of these companies, I guess I got to get on to them or something. Because it's like we got none of that at all, other than Turner Network. That's the only one that has been showing any kind of
do
esport
some
broadcast.
selling, for us. Get us
I
onto
I
some of
might
these
have
minor networks. By the way, not so minor. Rob Hartley, fastest lap of the race,
Oh
and
my!
Alex Simpson. That is a brilliant time, which has shattered the previous best
yeah,
and
1
has
second.
shattered the field at the moment. 5/10 quicker than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's 1 second faster than what Brian was that lap. So Phoenix Racing under the cosh, 5.8 seconds, and we've got 20 minutes left of this race. So that sort of pace is definitely going to get there.
He'll certainly be under the cosh if he keeps that up, because 25 minutes to go, 1 minute 41 per lap. You're probably looking at about 14 laps or something like that left. It doesn't take a genius to work out that he's going to catch him before the end, and he's flying along. He's Rob Hartley. You can tell as well, Alex, the body language of the car, and this is what always impresses me when I see drivers of such caliber, is every single corner is on the limit. They don't ever seem to drive within themselves, and I think that's, or they don't look like they are anyway, even as fast as they're going.
I think the thing is, the closer you get the car to the limit, the better it actually handles as well. You know, you step over the limit, and yeah, pant. But the closer you get it there, the car just seems to respond. You get that little bit more downforce. You know, the braking right. You don't get any kind of like snap oversteer or anything like that. The car doesn't turn in too much because you're running the kind of speed it wants to do, so it tracks out right. So, and yeah, right now, Hartley loving the fact that it's got some new rubber on that car. 4.5 seconds now is the gap. So another, 1.3 seconds taken out that lap.
God, yeah, it's getting even more desperate for Phoenix Racing. They must be on the old tyres, Alex, with that pit stop time. So
Yeah, they are.
that's probably one of the reasons. Now the tyre will wear off. The newness of the tyre and the real ultimate grip of the tyre will wear out for Hartley, I assume, very soon. Putting in the type of lap times that he is. He's having traffic issues now, look. That is not what he wants at all. And that is driver just simply not getting out of the way whatsoever for lapped car, for the leader, sorry. Now, I know the blue flags are advisory technically in iRacing, but really, Alex, if you know the second place driver is coming up, you just get out of the way, don't you, really?
Yeah.
Not to be too blunt about it, but and that's helped Brian Cartier. Look, you see, it's 4.4 seconds now. I think we'll find it might be the first lap in a while where he's actually gone quicker than him. So let's just see what the times are now. Cartier is coming across the line about now, and he does a 142.3. Hartley does a 42.1, so it's very, very close. So even with being held up, Alex, this is the pace of him. Even with being held up quite substantially in Sector 3, he lost 0.4 of a second, still faster than Cartier.
But we might get a bit more traffic in this race, so can help him out. Needs to, of course, I think the leader usually gets a better run of it.
I think we're going to see a great battle, though, when we actually get to the battle at the front, because Cartier has been excellent so far. He's been really, really solid. Russell Ruddock has had a crash, and he's ended up in the pits. What on earth's happened here? Has he made a collision with... He had a... Oh, he's just lost the rear. Again, that's very, very strange. Very, very strange, isn't it?
People in that first turn, isn't there? Yeah. The 3.2 seconds comes flying down.
He's not messing about on this lap, is he? Fastest Sector 3 of the race.
A couple of cars though ahead of him, that might slow him down just a bit as he catches them at the right time, which he might well do. He's going to get one going down into turn 1, and that's not going to hold him up at all. That's perfect timing.
Oh, 1:41.369.
Yeah,
Fastest lap of the race. Rob Hartley at this point. Some drivers having some shenanigans in front of them as well. I saw some dust and dirt being kicked up as he's getting super close to the back of Chen now. I'm not sure you want to be getting that close to lap traffic, Alex, but it didn't go too badly for him. Oh, Cartier! Cartier's lost it at the bus stop. And the battle that we thought would come, it now won't happen. Brian Cartier becomes the latest victim of the chicane. Alex, what happened to him?
Yeah, exactly the same. Just got on that curb. Car got unsettled. Old tyres as well probably didn't help, and around he goes. That's unfortunate.
It's weird though, that one, because it wasn't so much the first curve that he
yeah,
got him, was it?
wasn't that bad, but it was just enough to make the car unstable.
And Kevin Ford's had a problem as well. And oh, that's a bit of a different one. That's and behind, look, behind.
Jeez, I saw
Mercedes in the wall, Tyler.
Don't know that. I don't know who that was, but boy, that was a interesting sight.
Did somebody put that? Did Mike Dan put that maple syrup down before he left? Because everybody's crashing on that bus stop. I've never seen so many incidents there. That's Stephen Thomas in the wall.
My goodness. I think they need to throw a caution out. There's a oil slick over at the bus stop.
I can only assume it's a combination, Alex, of the temperature maybe, and possibly the wind. I know we said it was a bit of a meme, the wind, earlier on, because it wasn't quite strong enough to make any real difference. But I just wonder if it's just doing enough to assist a lot of these guys in going round, because I've never seen so many spins in one race at this corner.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's possible. You get a headwind and it just changes the balance of the car. You know, it makes it just a bit more oversteery in somewhere like that. It does make a big difference.
I tell you what, though, regardless, how entertaining has this race been? I mean, there's been so much going on. I mean, I went out of the room for 10 minutes, and apparently the entire race just changed completely. That's how brilliant this race has been. I think we need to give some bit of screen time to Leon Wright, who is leading the way for Team Street Survival in the in car 10. Sorry, not car 10, car 24.
They've just been so far out front, really, all race. They they got that.
Oh, I've been kicked out of iRacing. Unlucky.
Oh, typical with just a few minutes left of this.
I'm gonna try and get back in, but yeah, no, they have, haven't they? Shiflet was very good at the beginning, and
Yeah.
he's carried over into this session as well for right.
Yeah, Matt Owens in this class is just taking a pit stop as well, very late in the day. Into the box. He's
I thought
actually
you were gonna say he was taking a piss.
yeah.
I
Not so much.
know.
But yeah, they've had their ups and downs in that car tonight. So yeah, late pit stop. They'll be grateful, I think, when this race is over and done with.
Yeah, I tell you what though, every now and again we get a race in this series or in any of the other series in that Extreme Motorsports put on, which completely justifies staying up until stupid o'clock at night. And this has been really, really good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And as much as I'm very tired, and you know, not going to get a great deal of sleep tonight, I don't regret it, Alex. This has been brilliant.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Seen some good overtaking. We've seen a couple of little collisions. We've seen a lot of spins and good pit strategy, and yeah, everything's just coming together to make a really, really cool 2 hours and 15 minutes. And we've still got 15 minutes to go. Based on the action that we've seen and based on the thrills and spills of it, I can't guarantee there ain't going to be more changes.
No, no, in this final 10 minutes. I mean, just Hartley, if he just carries on pushing, you know, anything can happen, you know?
I mean, the thing is, he's done it before. We saw in Le Mans. Do you remember in the Ricmotech Sportscar Series at Le Mans, he stacked it on the last lap there, and I think he did it at Monza as well. So it's not impossible. I obviously don't want that to happen to him, but he definitely, you know, it's not out of the realms of possibility. He leads by 5.1 seconds. But Brian Cartier now has an incentive, Alex, to push that car like never before. Can he do it? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, what he doesn't need to do is make a fairly big mistake again, because David Payton is not that far behind either.
They've been quietly going about the business.
Yeah,
haven't
on
they?
fresh rubber, they're doing good lap times as well. So, yeah.
You know what, Alex? I reckon I've got an idea. I think we should do this series one time. I think we should at least do a race or two in this series as a team race. That could be pretty cool.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, we'll try and figure that out at some point, I'm sure. Hey, I'm sure they'll take more entries for Le Mans or something like that, eh?
Well, especially with I don't know if anyone, even if you're to people listening in on the broadcast, iRacing and BMW is doing a special little side hustle, I guess I could call it, where if you run the BMW GTE car, the top split winner will get invites to go out to Le Mans and experience Le Mans out there, get a VIP experience and everything with the BMW factories. From what I saw in there, and then for all of the other splits that are involved in the racing, the winner of each split that's using the BMW, the winner of each is going to get $50 in iRacing credit, as well as a Club Sport wheel that's specifically designed to look like the BMW racing wheel.
It's very cool. When's that going to be, Tyler? Do we know?
That'll be during the 24-hour Le Mans race for iRacing.
Ah, cool. Awesome stuff. And I tell you what, Alex, that'll be coming round again quickly, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
Le Mans once more. Are you going to be doing it?
Yeah, the team's already been doing some testing in it, so I'm a bit gutted because I think we've got a car that can win LMP2, but no one wants to drive it. So after Neo, we definitely have a very, very fast car. But yeah, so they all want to do LMP1 and GTE.
So I've got iRacing back, but the live timing's crashed. So give me.
Man, you're not having any luck.
Do I ever have any luck? I think
Good
before
point there.
before I was doing the BSRTC on Thursday, and I was sat here. I'd got everything ready half an hour early because I know what I'm like of rushing around and not getting things ready on time. So half an hour early, I was sat here. 5 minutes before the race starts, I get kicked out of iRacing just as I have now, and then I couldn't get back in for another 15 minutes, and I missed half of the race. So nothing ever really goes right for me on this occasion, but when I'm doing these streams or the broadcasts, but hey, not. There are worse things that we could be doing with our time, I guess. You know, this is a very, very good job. So even with the bad things that happen, it's still really, really enjoyable. Kevin Ford is closing in on Mike Monaghan again, Alex. He's down to 0.7 of a second, 43.4 on the previous lap. Pretty decent lap. I think it's the 5th fastest lap, 4th fastest car on the circuit at the moment.
Yeah,
He's got damage, just not as much damage as Monaghan's got.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, these
How
guys.
did Monaghan get that damage? Did he hit the wall? Or was it Lacey that hit the wall? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was, wasn't it? Early, like very, very early in the race. So they've had that the whole race long. So yeah, both cars really have been in the wars, haven't they? So
Oh yeah, in the wars and in the walls.
trying to figure out why Ford is down where he is. I mean, they've pitted 3 times.
Oh,
So
twitched again. He's going up the inside though. Oh, because he spun off, didn't he? I think he spun off twice, didn't he?
yeah, but again, that doesn't make the reason why he's pitted 3 times.
Well, one was a driver change. Well, Bader was in the car, wasn't he? He pitted after 4 laps, so we don't know the reason for that, do we? Still.
Okay. Yeah.
And then here's a splash and dash for Peyton, so he's not going to challenge Cartier in the late going because he's having to come in and chuck a little bit more gas in it.
Yeah, so a few people misjudged the fuel.
I mean, that's 10 minutes misjudgment there. And to be honest, that's probably why Ford made that extra stop because they pitted after 4 laps. They probably just didn't have enough strategy available, basically a window available to get to the end in 2 stops. We'll see what that shakes out. In fact, Peyton is still 30 seconds ahead of Jeff Jacobs, it looks like. So, yeah, that's not... In fact, he's 57 seconds ahead of Jeff Jacobs. So I think it's safe to say that he's okay in terms of 3rd place. That's probably why they've made that extra stop, Alex, to be honest, because...
they don't have to push it, don't have to worry about it, do they?
Plenty of time.
Yeah, there's no point in risking it or anything.
100%. 100%. And this is what Rob Hartley needs to do as well now, because he's got 10 minutes left. He's got 10.5 seconds. Just needs to wind it down, I think, a tiny bit. He's just set the fastest sector 5 on the previous lap, 141.6. 8/10 quicker than anyone else out there on the circuit at the moment. Let's see what it's going to be this time. 42.1 with another fastest sector 5.
Not quite as quick. I mean, like you say, he just doesn't need to be doing this pace.
I need Rocky to get on the radio like you used to do to Seb.
I was about to say, surely
Vettel and go, come on now.
Travis is going to have a little word with him if he makes a mess of this.
Like I say, he doesn't tend to mess it up, really. But he has done in the past. So it's one of those where I think you've just got to take that half second off the lap time.
Chad Parker just crashed. Sorry, just seeing that.
No, that's all right.
Just flashed up on the screen. So see what this was all about.
To he, and it's on the way into turn 1. I think he got a wheel on the grass.
Oh, a little twitch again.
And then he had to, yeah. And then I think he was losing it on the way in. Let's have a little look from on board or off board or wherever.
Yeah, it was just a nick. You just saw the puff of dirt and things like that as he did it. You just can't have that on the break-in into there. Got himself out of shape and yeah. He actually jumped back to the pits as well, which is a bit unfortunate. Um, just with such few minutes left.
The Ford Monaghan battle has gone out to. I'll say that. Has Ford had an issue? Because Monaghan's again got back to 1.6, so it's 2.5. No, it seems all right. Yeah, Hartley's still ahead by quite a bit, 41.7. Again, you know what? The next fastest lap out there was a 43.1. There's no one else in the 42s. He's in the 41s.
Absolutely flying. So they've kept their tyres right to the end.
Crazy.
A few people having issues with the stream. I mean, mine's running faultlessly here, so apologies for that. I'm not sure what's going on. Obviously, we can't do anything in terms of YouTube and connections and things like that. But yeah, mine's not skipped a beat here, so not sure what's going on.
A bit odd that.
Gym list having some off tracks.
Oh, he's been off for 13 combined seconds.
Yes, I don't know what's going on with him right now.
I reckon he's had a spin. I wonder if we can get that on the screen.
Oh, he jumped to the pits as well.
Oh, he was in 3rd place overall in his category, so
definitely need to get a replay of this if we can. Find out what happened. Yeah.
Have we got that, Tyler? What happened to Gym List?
We're hoping. Oh, Forrest Landy crashed. What is going on? Everybody's crashing out of this race.
So here's the list one. Oh, this isn't going to be with Chen, is it?
Oh,
that's bloody silly, isn't it? It's all that. That is about as daft as you can possibly.
Can I see this again from the chopper? Is that at all possible? I'd like to, yeah, get a good view.
I'll be honest, the Ford's weaving about all over the bloody place.
Yeah, just stay straight.
Stupid driving is that? I'll be honest. Yeah. You've got it. Yeah, I'll say it again. He's moved about 3 or 4 times here. He moves left, he moves right, he moves left, he moves right, and then when List is finally alongside him, he moves right, he moves left again. That's just bad. That's bad. I think the stewards definitely need to have a look at that.
Yeah, and that's different classes. They're not even racing each other.
Battling on the track, exactly that. Yep. They're not even fighting for position between
the
classes.
Here's Forrest.
And that was Landy in the second to last corner, just losing the rear of the car and going around. Bit of a harmless one for Landy. All he's lost is a bit of time, and the only thing that does is put Chen within somewhat of striking distance, 4 seconds, but not too close. Rob Hartley, 41.38, just 1/100th of a second, Alex, slower than the fastest lap of the race. 4 purple sectors, just not quite the lap time overall. Oh, he's done it now, 41.17. There we go. He's a machine. How difficult is that after 2 hours and 12 minutes?
I mean, yeah, it's not easy. Although what I will say is when you're just in a rhythm at the end, low fuel, tyres are good, track conditions are optimal right now as well. You know, you can just get into that zone where you just keep putting lap times in, you know, just bang, 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 bang.
But from a mental point of view, though, you've done. He's probably done 40 odd laps. You know, he must be getting reasonably sort of mentally fatigued at this point. Yeah, he's just putting in all these fantastic sectors and really just absolutely smashing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we were sat here now saying it'd been about 4 hours, then maybe you'd be a bit mentally drained. But I think right now this is kind of like optimal kind of position in the or time on the track to actually feel completely at one with the car and be in a zone, which is clearly where he is.
It's a zone that he'll very soon be leaving because, well, he's only got one lap to go, Alex, and yeah, 2 hours and 15 minutes has flown by, I think.
Yeah, it has indeed. And just try and bring in both Tylers very, very second, just to give us their sort of thoughts on the race. We'll start with you, Mr. Cameraman. Sorry, we haven't been able to come to you much in this one, but yeah, it's been an exciting race.
Yeah, definitely indeed. It's been an exciting race. Sorry about that. Just took me just a little bit of time to figure out the replays. It didn't actually show up as a wreck in the live timing, so it took me just a minute to find it there. But yeah, Rob Hartley, though, absolutely killing it in this race and just putting in fastest lap time after fastest lap time now. It's unreal how after 2 hours 14 minutes now he can go ahead and just bang out another fastest lap time. He's now got 20 seconds to Cartier behind him, so he's really pulled that one out. Driver that we haven't really shown too much in this race, Leon Wright. He's done an absolutely amazing job in DTD. Got 56 seconds right now where Chad Parker in DTD Motorsports Blue. Not much action has gone on in this class, so we haven't really had much to show over here. But the Rob Hartley in the GTE class has absolutely been killing it.
Yeah, and Tyler Vickery got 10-15 seconds. Just to summarise what your thoughts are before Woody brings this race to a close.
Just with how I was just impressive, especially for the GTE guys. I'm just absolutely impressed.
Here we go then. Rob Hartley, just 2 corners to go for Excite Energy Racing. He's flashing the lights. He's delighted with this performance, and he definitely should be. Rob Hartley comes to the line. He takes the checkered flag, and he wins at Watkins Glen. And what a tremendous performance. Really, really, really well done to him. And, of course, to Travis Schwenke.
Here comes Brian in second place then. Great performance from those guys too. And yeah, they'll be delighted with that. David Payton will come across in third, but perhaps we'll see Leon Wright first, will he? Where was Leon Wright on the circuit? No? Oh, he's got another...
He's finished.
No, he's finished already, so we missed him, unfortunately. Sorry, Leon. But yeah,
He just take the win.
Payton coming across in third, but yeah, good solid result for a Wright. Dominant performance, that car, from start to finish. Chad Parker will come across in second in GT3. And here's Jeff Jacobs, or there was Jeff Jacobs in fourth. Well, just coming around the penultimate corner. Slow car in front of him, but I don't think there's a position change possible.
Don't think so, no. And here comes Jeff Jacobs to take 4th place. Yeah, everyone has
actually,
finished.
yeah, everyone's crossed the line.
But yeah, what a great 2 hours and 15 minutes. Rob Hartley, just terrific. Travis Schwenke, terrific. Brian Cartier did a great job as well in second place to challenge all that way and be leading the race with about 15 minutes to go. But then just the spin that he had at the bus stop chicane, it robbed us of a battle. I do think Hartley would have taken it, Alex, but I do wish we could have seen that fight.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like I say, I feel confident with that sort of pace he would have got there and got by. But yeah, it's nothing. It would have been better to see the overtake on track.
There we go. Here the results on the screen then. And in GTLM, Robert Hartley, as we've mentioned a few times there, takes the win by 17.5 seconds over Brian Cartier, with David Payton in third, Jeff Jacobs in fourth. Forrest Landy took fifth ahead of Dean Chen, Kevin Ford in seventh, Michael Monaghan then behind him, and then Russell Ruddock in ninth. Leon Wright winning the GTD class ahead of Chad Parker. And then they actually finished 3 laps ahead of the next guy, Jim List. Then Matt Owens, Stephen Thomas, Connor Brannan retired, as did Mike Dam, and Edgar Sancinelli. He looked like he actually didn't take the start, Alex.
No, I don't think he did. I didn't see anyone crashing out or anything on the first lap, so yeah. Must have been the way.
Oh,
Well,
well.
I thoroughly
How do
enjoyed
you
that
sum that one up?
race. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed it. That was great. Yeah, looking forward to watching the next one back. I don't know if you've seen in the chat, Woody, but I just thought we'll hand over to both the Tylers just to have some interviews with the guys, and they're going to kindly let us disappear and get some shut eye.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Alex. By the way, mate, it's always a pleasure. We always have fun. Like I said, our 10th year of commentary together, and yeah, we always do a good job. So thanks for joining me again.
No, thank you. Been a pleasure, and thanks to the guys as well for doing the broadcast and coming in and covering the pits and what's going on from both Tylers. And yeah, like I said, thank you for letting us disappear and dealing with the interviews at the end.
All right, so we'll hand you over to Tyler Vickery from Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson. It's goodbye for now, but stay here for some post-race reaction from the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge.
Rob Hartley now on the roof. Rob, absolutely amazing job from you in that Excite Energy racing car. You guys absolutely dominated the race today. Tell us about that one.
Yeah. Well, when I made my last pit stop, I definitely had some work to do. Brian Cartier and Jordy Fike had a good run going, and they was like 7 seconds out on me. Started reeling them in, and then they had a little spin through the bus stop. I was looking forward to that battle there at the end.
It definitely would have been a good battle. You definitely had the pace over them. You were absolutely flying. You were just setting fastest lap after fastest lap there in the end, and you were catching them at a rate of knots. But you did an absolutely amazing job in the end to score the victory and to keep the car on the track and keep it all the way there to the end. Obviously, a little bit of unfortunate luck with them having the spin, so you guys really didn't get to battle there to the end, but still a great result for you. I know a lot of people make it happen for you, so go ahead and get some shout-outs.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to y'all for the broadcast and the admins in this league make it what it is, and Ricmotech for being the sponsor, and TD's Tree Service, and my teammate Travis Swinky. He did an excellent job tonight.
Yeah, well, amazing job to you guys. Congratulations once again on the win. Think next round we go to Le Mans, if I'm not mistaken. What are you thinking of the next one?
that's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, it's gonna be a big draft fest, so it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, definitely going to be a crazy one indeed. Congratulations again on the win, Rob, and hopefully talk to you next time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So Rob Hartley, everyone, and I don't think that there is anyone else in the interview room. No, there is not.
Nope.
Here tonight.
Nope. Does not look like it.
And I believe that that is going to be it. Just going to wait just a few more seconds here for everyone. Maybe possibly somebody joining up in. Don't believe that's going to be the case. But that is, I believe, going to conclude all the coverage here from the Ricmotech World Challenge here live from Watkins Glen. Hopefully we'll see you again next time. Next week, we'll be live on the Ricmotech Sports Car Series at, if I'm not mistaken, we are at Snurton International Raceway. So that should be an absolutely awesome race. Definitely an interesting track over in the United Kingdom. So we're making the jump across the pond for next week. I believe it'll be the same commentary crew as usual for that series, Tyler Maxson alongside Tyler Vickery. But Tyler, final thoughts on this week?
Wild. Definitely was not expecting the carnage to happen. Oh, I should say I wasn't expecting the carnage to happen near the end like it did, but I was enjoying the first hour of the race. I mean, that was some really good racing overall until things started really spreading out and things got a little out of hand. I feel bad for the guys for proximity racing. That was, I mean, they had a big opportunities of being able to pull off a big upset, but unfortunately, issues happened, and I really do hope that they come back again for the next World Challenge, and I can't wait to see how that'll play out.
Yeah, in the next World Challenge, I am mistaken, we are actually going to Road Atlanta, one of, in my opinion, one of the best tracks in the country for racing. It's definitely it's my home track, one of the most interesting tracks on iRacing. It's got some of the most elevation change. This would definitely be a big challenge for these drivers to do then. I believe we go there in just about a month's time. So that'll be definitely an interesting race to watch. Be sure to tune in June the 3rd for that one. Just a few days after the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if we see a little bit more teams or less teams tune in for that race, considering it is so close to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. I know a lot of teams are going to be running that one, so it should be an absolutely amazing race as usual in the Ricmotech Sports Car, or in the Ricmotech World Challenge Series. But next week we will be at the Snurton Circuit, Snurton 300, for the 60-minute Ricmotech Sports Car Series race. So make sure that you do tune in for that one. But from myself, Tyler Maxson, and Tyler Vickery, and all of us here at Apex Racing TV, we'll see you next time.
Are you a fan of the Ricmotech World Challenge? Now is your chance to show off your favorite sim racing world challenge by visiting our online store with clothing and apparel for women and men in all sizes, merchandise and gift items like coffee mugs, laptop skins, mouse pads, and many more items to display your passion for sports car sim racing. Visit us today at ExtremeMotorsports99.com and click on the online store button. Thank you for watching and supporting the Ricmotech World Challenge.